Tang Yeonmyeung just wants to live a normal life, but torment was his daily bread. Every day without fail, he was beaten to a pulp by the other kids of the clan. And it was all because they blamed him and his mother for the fall of their family, the prestigious Sichuan Tang Clan. His mother, the poison phoenix Tang Ji-hai, caught the attention of Heaven's Brilliance demon lord Yeonmyeung Tang. This dude was known to take whatever he wanted, and he wanted Tang Ji-hai as his wife. So the Sichuan Tang Clan fought against his forces with all their might. They won in the end, but they lost so many resources that this battle led to the family's decline in power. And the blame was placed squarely on Tang Yeonmyeung and his mom. The abuse was relentless, a daily ritual he just endured. Fighting back only meant more beatings. That was daily life for Yeonmyeung. He walks home bruised and battered. Someone's waiting at the door. It's his mom, Poison Phoenix Tang Ji-hai. She's shocked and runs to him. Yeonmyeung just grins and brushes it off. But then he coughs out blood. Oops. His mother asks if he's being bullied, but he makes up some flimsy excuse about falling on, something, and walks away. That night, he cries himself to sleep. He knows it's not his mom's fault, but speaking up only brings more retaliation. He remembers his father who suffered a similar fate. Leaving wasn't even an option because then no one would protect them. Another day, another beating. His bullies are back at it, beating him to a pulp. But this time, there's a twist. One of the bullies, Tang Yeonmyeung, has prepared something extra today. Poison needles. Before Yeonmyeung can escape, he's pinned to the ground. So the psychopath Yeonmyeung sticks the needles into Yeonmyeong's body and he screams in agony. He doesn't know how much longer of this suffering he can endure. That night, as he lies motionless in the ground, he's thinking, what if he just, stopped existing? But then, an image of his mom flashes. Who would protect her if he's gone? He grits his teeth, wishing he wasn't born so weak. He wishes he could stand up to those guys. He's not really asking for much, just to be strong enough to protect his mom and himself. I just want to live a normal life, he screams through tears. Suddenly, something materializes in front of him. Yeonmyeung stares in shock. A sword? Where did that come from? He's never seen anything like it before, but it felt strangely familiar. He reaches out and grabs the hilt. In that instant, a flood of memories struck him. This sword belonged to him. Another life flashes before his eyes. In a past life, he was once a legendary swordmaster, obsessed with the blade. He honed his skills for almost a century and had reached the pinnacle of power. But now, at the end of his life, he is only filled with regret. He only has one last dying wish. He wished he could just live a normal life. And just like that, their destinies start to converge, both their wishes tying them together. His past swordmaster self and the young Tang Yeonmyeung start to merge, centuries of sword skills pouring into him. He declares that from now on he will do everything he can to live a normal life. The next day, the sun is shining. As Yeonmyeung walks out, his mom calls after him, super worried about his injuries. He tells her not to worry and that he'll be back, leaving her to watch him go. She has no idea what's coming. Elsewhere, his bullies are waiting, wondering if our boy will even show up after yesterday's brutal beating. They decide that if he shows, they'll just beat him up again. And right on cue, one of them spots him. Oh, there he comes. Yeonmyeung waves excitedly, eager to continue her experiment from yesterday. But Yeonmyeong's face is a mask of cold indifference. The white-haired kid, Moon Chan, can't believe Yeonmyeong looks completely unharmed after Yeonmyeong's little poison test. Just that much won't hurt me, Moon Chan. That calm, cold statement shocks all three bullies into complete silence. Mic drop. Moon Chan scoffs, trying to regain his composure. Energy flaring, the bullies are ready to put Yeonmyeong back in his place. But suddenly, Yeonmyeong calls them all by name. Tang Jong-il. Then he turns his cold gaze to the girl, and Tang Yeonmyeong. She claps her hands together. What's the occasion? You're calling us by our names? Do you want to die? Her face twists into a sadistic grin. She threatens to double today's poison dose. But Jong-il's now raging. Why aren't you paying attention to the person in front of you? He growls, ready to rumble. In a flash, Yeonmyeong's hand shoots out, slamming into Jong-il's face before he can even react. The impact smashes Jong-il into the ground, cracking the earth beneath him. Yeonmyeong and Moon Chan can only stare in disbelief. What? Their minds are officially blown. They can't process what just happened. Jong-il got knocked down in one hit. They're all shocked Pikachu face. He was supposed to be untrained in martial arts, so how did this happen? He glares at them. You said you're participating in the clan leader competition, right? With heavy steps, he walks towards them. You're going to enter with this level of skills, he asks. Moon Chan recoils. This guy seems like a completely different person overnight, but he still thinks he can win this. He lunges forward, his fist crackling with energy. Let's see if you can still talk after facing my skills. But the attack is stopped cold. Yeonmyeong catches his fist with one hand effortlessly, like literally no effort. With a single brutal strike, Yeonmyeong smashes Moon Chan into the ground, knocking him out instantly. If the level of participants is like this, then the position of the next clan leader is pretty much decided. And that, my friends, is how you make a comeback. Meanwhile, things are happening at the fancy Golden Poison Hall. This used to be the seat of the clan head, but since the position has been empty for some time, the elders have made it their council room. This elder, with hair so pointy it could probably poke an eye out, starts the whole shindig. He declares they already have a short list of candidates for the next young clan leader, and now they need to decide about our boy Tang Yeonmyeung. Everyone knows this kid gets bullied by the other trainees. He's like 0 achievements, 0 skills, 0 chance, so let's kick him out of the competition. Someone brings up the obvious, isn't Yeonmyeung the previous clan leader's son? He warns that booting him could make the entire competition look super sus if they don't include the one person who actually has a claim to the throne. The pointy-haired lead elder nods but immediately dismisses it. Like, yeah, whatever. He argues that letting such a weakling participate would just make the whole thing a joke. Yeonmyeung, according to him, is pure deadweight. But before they can finish roasting our hero, bam, the massive council room doors burst open. The elders probably think it's the pizza delivery guy. Nope, it's an intruder. Surprise! It's Yeonmyeung, and he's definitely not alone. And when they see what he dragged in, their eyes widen even more. The lead elder's face turns purple with rage. Tang Yeonmyeung bellows, do you even comprehend your current actions? Yeonmyeung, cool as a cucumber, just shrugs. I am aware, thank you, he says. The elder is utterly baffled, asking what in the world he means by that. Yeonmyeung tosses a battered, bruised Yeonmyeung onto the floor right in front of the council. The lead elder's eyes practically pop out of his head. Yeonmyeung then delivers his villain monologue, but it's totally justified. He's like, I've put up with enough crap in this family. Now, I'm not putting up with anything anymore. The members absolutely lose it, screaming that harming a competition participant is a serious crime. He says he knows the rules, then hits them with the ultimate loophole. But there's no problem with fights between competition participants, right? Checkmate, elders. The clan members are absolutely speechless. Their brains are buffering. What kind of logic is this, kid? The lead elder narrows his eyes. So you're saying that you want to join the young clan leader competition now? Is that not enough? Yeonmyeung retorts, his expression ice cold. Our boy is a savage. The elder is genuinely shocked by Yeonmyeung's sheer audacity. Who is this kid? Yeonmyeung tells them to check outside, where he left the other 2 bullies, Moonshan and Jong-il, in pieces. Then he says he just followed the family motto, repay kindness 2-fold and revenge 10-fold. The entire hall falls into an awkward, stunned silence. You could hear a pin drop. The lead elder clenches his fist, finally realizing Yeonmyeung just played a tactical masterstroke. The members protest loudly, shouting, this cannot be. He's just glitching the system. Another argues that letting this menace participate would endanger everyone else. But the lead elder raises a hand, shutting down the entire debate. No, he declares with surprising finality. Let him participate in the competition. The other elders are absolutely gobsmacked by this sudden 180-degree turn. What just happened? He states that Yeonmyeung has clearly proven his confidence and, qualifications. So why block a legitimate heir, right? He looks at Yeonmyeung with a grim warning. I hope your confidence isn't just for show, kid. Back it up with skills. If you don't become the young clan leader, he threatens, you're gonna regret everything you pulled today. Back in his room, Yeonmyeung gets the classic mom interrogation from Tang Ji. She asks how he could possibly announce his participation so, well, violently. It was necessary, mother, he replies, all calm and collected. This kid is something else. She's totally taken aback by his decisive tone. This isn't just a random whim. Our boy has a plan. She reflects on his name, surviving as long as possible. Suddenly, she sees a great leader, not a bullied child. Get a load of this character development, mom. She wisely decides not to ask how he suddenly got all these skills or how he absolutely demolished 3 other kids. Probably for the best, honestly. Instead, she asks him one crucial question. Are you confident about the young clan leader competition, my son? Yeonmyeung flashes a wide, confident smile. I am the son of the Poison Phoenix, he declares. Tears immediately well up in his mother's eyes. Our boy's making her proud. You've really grown up well, she sobs, pulling him into a tight hug. I'm so proud of you. As he feels his mother's warm embrace, Yeonmyeung reaffirms his ultimate goal, protect this new ordinary life. And anything that dares to disturb this newfound peace, he will absolutely eliminate them all. Fast forward 1 month, and a silver-haired dude is asking his sister if they should really just let things play out. He reminds her this competition is no joke, and every single moment is precious. No time for slacking, my friend. Jae just smiles softly. Let him be, she says. He must have his reasons. She's confident her son isn't some chaotic neutral player. He always has a plan. The silver-haired man, now revealed as Dark King Great Leader Tang Jukwi, agrees. Yeonmyeung's mentality and courage are totally wild for a kid his age. Ji asks if he's worried and thanks him for always protecting her son. Good guy Jukwi, Jeokwi admits he has high expectations now too, but he's still wondering, is it really okay for Yeonmyeung to be not training separately? Meanwhile, our protagonist is just chilling, meditating calmly inside. His training? Oh, just eating mom's amazing cooking and getting enough beauty sleep? He's secretly using internal methods to fix his messed up chi paths, not just grinding physical skills. For a guy who's awakened his past life as a literal swordmaster, he can level up his skills whenever he wants. No rush. Right now, his main quest is to fortify his body. It's the vessel for all that overpowered swordmaster energy after all. At just 12 years old, his body's meridians and pathways are still pretty clean. Good starting stats, my friend. As his level increases, his body's gonna undergo a full transformation. Like a rebirth, but with more gains. But even with all that, a strong foundation is still super crucial. To keep things balanced, he needs to focus on good nutrition and plenty of rest for peak physical growth. Looking out at the moonlit courtyard, he's like, yeah, this is totally sufficient. And just like that, it's competition day. Yeonmyeung rocks some fine robes and gets ready to head out. His mother watches him with a proud, steady gaze. Take care of yourself, she says. She turns to Jeokwi and thanks him for meeting with her. Always good to have family support, right? With a simple let's go, Yeonmyeung and Jeokwi head off, leaving his mom to watch them go. She watches her son walk away, thinking about how well he's grown up, after almost being expelled and beating up 3 kids. A sad smile crosses her face as she wishes his father Longriang could have seen him now. Man, this story's got layers. Alright, the day is here. The Dark King Hall is buzzing with competitors, probably all talking smack. And here comes Yeonmyeung munching on some rice cakes. He finds a prime spot on the steps, figuring he's got 30 minutes to kill. This is his pre-game ritual, I guess. As he's enjoying his snack, he overhears some other contestants gossiping about him. A whole squad of them is staring him down, wondering if this is the guy who bodied Moonshan. But they clearly have low expectations. They start mocking him, saying the rumors must be fake. This guy can't even learn martial arts. They scoff. Yeonmyeung just sighs. They're thinking the competition standards have seriously plummeted. One of the bullies gets all fired up, declaring it's time to instill some discipline. He winds up for a punch like he's in a tutorial fight. But before he can even throw a pixel, bam. He's sent flying backward, like a ragdoll in a physics engine. His friends are stunned, yelling about a hidden weapon. What kind of cheap shot was that? Then one of them realizes the truth. It wasn't a weapon at all. It was just a half-eaten rice cake. They can't believe it. The bullies are absolutely furious, vowing revenge. Yeonmyeung just slowly stands up, unimpressed, like, bring it, noobs. He casually walks toward them, asking if they heard how Moonshan's squad got wiped out. With a truly menacing grin, he points out that even Moonshan with his busted arm didn't run away. He challenges them. Are you, as fellow competitors, really gonna bail? The roast is real. Livid, the entire group charges him at once, screaming, get him! It's a full-on mob mentality. Yeonmyeung, of course, effortlessly mops the floor with them, one by one. Easy mode activated. Just then, a loud crash echoes through the courtyard, catching Jeokwi's attention. He looks over, startled. That came from the competitor area. Yikes, our boy is causing trouble again. Sensing absolute chaos, he immediately sprints toward the noise. He arrives to find a bunch of competitors groaning on the ground. It's a battlefield out here. His eye glows with fury as he demands, what in the world is going on here? The camera zooms out to reveal the absolute legend causing all the chaos. It's Yeonmyeung casually finishing his rice cake using a pile of unconscious bullies as his personal throne. Iconic. Oh, you arrived? He asks, totally nonchalantly. I was getting bored waiting. Can this kid get any more unhinged? He flashes a massive, toothy, and totally not innocent grin. Don't misunderstand, he says to the stunned Jeokwi with maximum sass. They totally started it first. Please go easy on me, he pleads with fake innocence. Jeokwi just face palms, utterly defeated. Meanwhile, the Grand Elder is getting the full report, and he is absolutely positively livid. This is not good, folks. Grand Elder Tang Sokjung, the big bad elder, strokes his beard, ominously stating that if a wild card like Yeonmyeung becomes Yeonmyeung clan leader, total chaos will ensue. Back in the courtyard, the competition is finally about to begin. 2 girls talk about the format. Actual rules and stuff. Turns out they undergo 2 to 3 years of training and then fight one-on-one. The purple-haired girl is super suspicious, asking how this randobot knows all the confidential details. The pink-haired girl puffs out her chest proudly. My father works at the general office, she brags. Information is key. Suddenly, a commanding voice cuts through the chatter. Silence, everyone! It's showtime. It's clan leader Tang Jeokwi. He announces he's overseeing the competition and will explain the rules. No more rice cake attacks, hopefully. The crowd erupts in cheers, amazed by their impressive youngest-ever leader. He explains the normal competition runs for 4 years. Year 1 is independent practice for throwing skills like darts or something. Then hidden weapon skills for all your stealth assassinations. And of course, poison-making skills, because, it's the Tang family. He continues, explaining that the next 2 years are intense training under assigned warriors, basically, grinding for levels. After all that training, the main competition begins, usually with classic one-on-one duels. Fair and square, right? But the Grand Elder cuts him off with a booming voice. This time, it will be a goo poison match. Everyone is absolutely shell-shocked. Goo poison? That sounds unhealthy, my friends. A goo poison match means participants are thrown into a pit and fight each other until only one person is left standing, like a battle royale. The Grand Elder calmly explains that due to unfortunate incidents and a lot of dropouts, the original rules are out the window. He glances right at Yeonmyeung, still chilling on his pile of defeated foes. They're now allowing everyone to exert their full power. He declares the young clan leader position is vital. Not a child's game, but a noble, life-risking challenge. The winner gets everything of the Sichuan Tang family. This is why everyone's here for the ultimate loot. We zoom in to the key contenders. There's Tang Moonchen, Tang Jong-il, Tang Yongrang, then Tang Seokshin, and Tang Guklin. And finally, our very own Tang Yeonmyeung. The man, the myth, the rice cake slinger. The Grand Elder declares only one will survive, but Yeonmyeung just smiles thinking, well, this doesn't seem hard at all. While Yeonmyeung is off being an absolute menace, in the shady Black Death Alliance territory, an elder from the Dark Moon Sword Sect calls a meeting to order. And he gets right down to business, folks, the Tang family's scheming. Because they're the bad guys here. Another dude pipes up, confirming their spies have eyes on the Tang competition with all those promising young participants already on the move. He even admits the Tang family is so weak right now, their leader could just poof them out of existence like dust bunnies. But hold up, the Black Death Alliance leader Yu Giljin, the big boss, for now is letting them off easy. Why? Because they still serve a purpose, apparently. The Elder, however, points out that these kids are literally the future of the Tang family. If something unfortunate were to happen to them, oh boy, that would be an irreversible blow. A woman in the room nods, agreeing. Yeah, the Tang family's kind of fallen off, but they still need to stay cautious. Then, a bandaged dude, because every villain meeting needs one, asks the million-dollar question, so when do we actually make our move, guys? The man declares, for now, we do absolutely nothing. He explains that just picking them off right now would be way too easy. It wouldn't deliver that satisfying, truly significant blow they're craving. Because look, the competition drags on for 4 whole years. He paints a grim picture. Imagine if after all that effort, those children died right at the climax of the event. Bandaged dude agrees. Yeah, that would be a fatal blow, all right. The woman smiles deviously. Oh, and she adds how it'd be like the Jegal or Moyong families. Alright, so the Dark Moon Sword Sect's elder Mak In-hu lays out the master plan. They'll track the carriage for now, then swoop in and make their move in 4 years. He reveals the tracking is already handled, no biggie. But then he drops this bombshell, he's also planted a small seed. With this seed, he muses ominously, the entire Tang family might just fall completely into their villainous hands. Alright, shifting gears back to the competition. An instructor is leading his group through the dark woods at night. No biggie, just a casual night stroll. He explains the rules might have changed, but procedures are the same. Participants are called by number. And guess what? They're group 7. He points out number 25, Tang Yuri, number 26, Tang Mirio, and number 27, Tang Yijin. But wait, one is missing. Naturally, he spots Yeonmyeung lagging way behind, probably thinking about rice cakes again. He yells, number 28, why are you lagging behind? Yeonmyeung snaps out of his daze, apologizing. Oh, sorry, I was just lost in thought. The instructor scolds him, but our boy's mind is already elsewhere. He can feel it, my friends. A distinct presence lurking behind them. This isn't just some random passerby or one of their own escorts. Nope, he's absolutely certain. They're being tailed. Uh-oh. The group arrives at a dead end, a massive cliff face. Yuri understandably wonders, are we supposed to, climb that? Suddenly, a booming voice echoes from the cliff itself, demanding Group 7 give the password. Yep, the cliff is talking, folks. Without even a second's pause, the instructor shouts the password, Poison King of Hidden Poison. That's a lot of poison, huh? A bright blue light flashes, confirming the password, and like magic, the massive rock wall begins to move. Whoa! The kids stare in wide-eyed shock as a secret pathway opens up right before their eyes. Nice to meet you, everyone, someone says with a flourish. A figure emerges from the glowing entrance holding a fan. He introduces himself as Jagal Changshin, here to assist them in the competition. He explains that his Jagal family was once super important, masters of formations, but then they fell after some Heaven's Brilliance demon lord invaded. Classic trope, right? Thanks to the Tang family's help, they barely survived. So now they're using their mad formation skills to prevent any outsiders from interfering with this competition. He proudly declares that the Jagal family will assist them with their formations. Get ready for some magic, kids. The kids are totally amazed, realizing this strange, trippy space is a formation technique. It completely distorts their sense of direction and time, like a glitch in the Matrix. As Changshin leads them deeper, Yeonmyeung's not concentrating at all. He was just as zoned out in the carriage too. Anyway, their escort had told them they'd be stuck together for 3 years and suggested introductions. Tang Yuri cheerfully introduced herself, saying, "Everyone knows about Yeonmyeung's famous fight. Oh, the reputation." Tang Yijan also introduced himself, confirming, "So you're the guy who beat up Tang Youngryeong, huh? Our boy really made a name for himself." Yuri then warned him that Youngryeong's great-grandfather is one of the big-shot Grand Elders, so he's safe during the competition, but after, oof. Yeonmyeung cuts her off, coolly asking if she's trying to blame him for the competition suddenly becoming a Gyu poison match. Seriously, dude? Yuri stammers, admitting she doesn't blame him, but deep down she really wants to argue about it. Classic internal struggle. Then Tang Mirio, our perpetually annoyed one, jumps in shouting, "No, I want to argue about it. Oh, this is going to be good." She points at Yeonmyeong's utterly deadpan face, absolutely infuriated. "Is that the face of someone who's caused inconvenience?" she demands. Yeonmyeong just casually blows air out of his smart mouth, further enraging her. Our MC is a true provocateur. Mirio fumes, declaring that while the others might let him off easy, she absolutely will not let another problem slide. Mirio suddenly bumps into Yuri. "Ouch! Hey, why'd you stop?" she yells. They all look ahead in total confusion. Their instructor, Jaegil Changshin, has just completely disappeared. He was literally right there a second ago. The kids totally panic, shouting, "Where did he go?" Mirio realizes the grave danger getting lost in this formation could trap them in a literal spatial rift. But Yeonmyeong wonders if Instructor Jaegil could really get caught in his own trap. Mirio snaps, way more worried about their immediate predicament. "How do we get out of here?" she yells, frantic. Yuri wonders if they'll just be rescued if they stay put, but then Ijin realizes, with dawning horror, they might be completely trapped. While everyone else is freaking out, Yeonmyeong is just casually relaxing. Elsewhere, Instructor Jaegil smugly states that the kids are now locked tight in his family's formation. Without the caster, there's absolutely no escape, he boasts. He's speaking with Grand Elder Tang Sokjung, who's actually impressed by the petty lengths the elders will go to just to handle one single kid. Seriously, guys. Instructor Jaegil can't believe his luck. Such a sweet promise is just too good to ignore, he thinks greedily. He gloats to himself that this whole unfair competition is only going to hurt the Tangs, while his own family stands to gain absolutely everything. That's the spirit of a true businessman. Suddenly he's startled by a strange noise, a thump perhaps, coming from within his own perfectly crafted formation. A crack appears in the magical barrier, widening with arcs of blue lightning. Wait, what? He can actually see the kids on the other side. He screams in utter disbelief. How? Yeonmyeong grins mischievously, actually holding the crack open. Instructor Jaegil, he asks, "What do you think will happen if you leave us behind?" Instructor Jaegil just stammers an apology, utterly flustered by this impossible situation. His smugness, gone. He thinks to himself, there was no flaw in the formation. How did he appear exactly where I was? Good question, dude. Good question. Yuri asks how he did it. Yeonmyeong's answer is simple, unbelievable, and completely Yeonmyeong. I cut it. Oh, of course you did, you absolute madman. Before they can even begin to process his insane claim, Mirio cuts in like, guys, this is not the time to worry about that. She points out that they were just lucky enough to find their instructor at all. Mirio tries to rally the group, telling them to stick close this time, but they turn around to see that the instructor has already vanished again. Poor kids can't catch a break. But nope, Yeonmyeong's just standing there with a smug look. What a troll. Meanwhile, Instructor Jaegil is absolutely hightailing it out of there, furious that he, a proud member of the Jaegil family, is being forced to run. He's completely spooked, remembering the kid's intense eyes. He knows simple tricks are useless against him and can't believe a 12-year-old has such an intense spirit. Suddenly, he spots his escape route, the exit to the training grounds, and immediately dives through it like his life depends on it, which, it kinda does. He collapses on the other side, exhausted but totally relieved. He's confident that whatever crazy trick Yeonmyeong used, there's no way he can follow him here. But his relief is cut short when a voice calls out his name. It's the supervising officer for Group 7, a tough-looking warrior named Tang Wonjin. Wonjin notices how absolutely rough the instructor looks and asks, "Hey, where are the Group 7 participants?" Instructor Jaegil starts to sweat, but tells himself to stay calm. He tells the officer that Group 7 just won't be participating. When Wonjin demands an explanation, the instructor lies through his teeth, saying he waited, but they simply never showed up. Real smooth, dude. He even suggests they might have been attacked by bandits or wild beasts. Guess we'll just have to proceed without them, he says. Just as he finishes that sentence, a massive crack shatters the air right behind him. Both he and Wonjin are completely stunned. What timing? The instructor can't believe it. His unbreakable formation is breaking, and then Wonjin immediately suspects an intruder, but the elder tries to play it cool, saying, "Oh, I'll just check it out." But it's too late. A single dagger slices through the fracture, and with a bam, the entire formation shatters in a massive explosion of energy. The shreds are a paid actor, I swear. The Seven Locks Phantom Dome, one of the Jegal family's supreme formations, was just broken by a kid. Yeonmyeung stands in the wreckage, dagger in hand, with a calm smile. Instructor Jegal and Wonjin can only stare, completely dumbfounded. And then, in true Yeonmyeung style, the boy shows us his twisted, incredibly relieved grin. Yeonmyeung and the rest of the group emerge, surrounded by a menacing aura. He asks, "How have you been?" "I was worried." "Oh, you absolutely were not, you little freak." The rest of Group 7 is absolutely completely floored by what just went down. Mirio, bless her heart, asks the question we're all thinking, did he just break that impossible formation with a tiny short sword? How is that even possible? Oh, but our boy Yeonmyeung, ever the humble one, casually corrects her. "I didn't break it," he says. "I just opened a gap. It'll close soon, so let's go." "Yeah, just a little gap." Tang Wonjin asks if they're Group 7. Meanwhile, our poor instructor Jegal is just sweating bullets, terrified. The kids confirm their identity, clocking the Tang family crest on Wonjin's hood before asking who he is. Wonjin expresses relief, saying, "I was worried you were attacked like Instructor Jegal said. Thankfully not." "Oh, Instructor Jegal, you sly fox. Attacked?" Yeonmyeung questions, and you can practically hear the instructor's spine snap as he flinches violently. Yeonmyeung, ever the little devil, puts on a sly smile. "Ah, you must have misunderstood," he says. "But thanks to you marking the entrance, we found our way here easily." The other kids, being smart cookies, immediately start whispering, wondering why Yeonmyeung is lying and suspecting there's a much bigger reason. Yeonmyeung, of course, knows Instructor Jegal is under some shady Tang family orders. He decides to let it slide for now, since it's just a suspicion. For now, that is. But make no mistake, my friend, if he finds proof that Instructor Jegal collaborated with the elders, our boy vows to root out the entire Jegal clan. You could call the FBI on this guy. The instructor, looking like he just saw a ghost, laughs and makes a flimsy excuse about checking the broken formations before beating a hasty retreat. "Dude, run while you still can." Wonjin then apologizes for the chaos and welcomes them, formally introducing himself. Finally, some order. "I am Tang Wonjin," he says, "a member of the Bongwi Brigade, and I'm responsible for your training during the competition." Mirio is absolutely shocked. The Bongwi Brigade? She thought they disappeared years ago? Plot twist. They were a legendary direct military force under the clan leader, comprised of the family's most formidable elites. Talk about an OP squad. And then, here comes the million-dollar question. The previous young clan leader was Yeonmyeung's mother, the Poison Phoenix, right? He then asks why Wonjin isn't in the Tang family, sighing as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. Mirio is practically gritting her teeth beside him, seething at his utter lack of respect. Wonjin explains that years ago they fought a desperate, epic battle to protect their master, the Poison Phoenix, against the Heaven's Brilliance Demon Lord. But tragically, it was a disaster. They were utterly, completely defeated. Ouch. Having failed to protect their master, they are now nothing more than sinners, a heavy burden to carry. I'm telling you that. Wonjin quickly moves on, probably sensing the awkwardness. Introduction ends here. Now listen carefully as I explain the competition rules. The first part is basically free-form grinding. They can train however they want and will be rewarded with scriptures or teachings based on their performance. Sweet loot. Yuri excitedly asks if that includes the legendary Tang technique, the 10,000 Heavenly Flower Rain, that was tragically lost in that great battle. Our girl has got her eyes on the prize. Wonjin clarifies that the full technique is only for the young clan leader, but its incomplete essence that's been passed down by the elders. So partial loot, still good. Yeonmyeung immediately recognizes the technique. It's a method for controlling numerous hidden weapons, making them rain down like a storm. He wonders if he can mimic it using the sword control technique from his past life. Of course he can. This is Yeonmyeung we're talking about. Wonjin announces that they'll receive the essence one by one, but whether they can master it, that's entirely up to them. No hand-holding here, kids. With the explanation over, Yuri asks the most important question, where are they going to sleep? Wonjin scoffs. You're in a forest, so naturally you'll be self-sufficient. This isn't a luxury vacation. The kids look horrified, realizing they're about to go full Bear Grylls. He lectures them, saying comfort doesn't make you strong and adapting to extreme environments is the priority. You know, the typical kids these days speech. With a clenched fist, he dismisses them. Now start your practice based on your own judgment. Time to grind. The kids just huddle together nervously, while Wonjin sizes them up, wondering if any of them are actually qualified for this hardcore training. Just then, Yeonmyeung pipes up, arguing that sleeping in a bed is actually better because nutrition is important for growth, and adapting to the forest seems, well, unnecessary. This, of course, immediately sets everyone off. What are you saying, you brat? They yell, glaring daggers at him. But Wonjin remembers, this is the kid who just shattered the barrier. He decides this might be a perfect chance to verify Yeonmyeung's actual abilities. Uh-oh. As the other members desperately try to shut Yeonmyeung up, Wonjin offers a deal. Fine. If you pass a test, you can stay in the manor inside the formation. Say what? But if you fail, Wonjin trails off, his face deadly serious. Yeonmyeung doesn't even hesitate. Let's do that, he says, completely unfazed. Of course he does. The test is simple. The entire brigade will surround him and throw hidden weapons. He just has to block or dodge them within 5 steps. Yeah, simple. Wonjin gives the final instruction. We'll start as soon as your eyes are covered. Now that's a challenge. The elite warriors take their positions, kunai and shuriken at the ready, completely surrounding their blindfolded target. This is gonna be wild. The kids watch, confused why no one's moving. But then Mirio, Queen of Observation, realizes the terrifying truth. They're increasing the psychological pressure over time on purpose. Sneaky tactics brigade. Then, with a sudden coordinated movement, they attack. A massive, overwhelming volley of daggers, shuriken, and even coins rains down on Yeonmyeung from all directions. It's an absolute storm of hidden weapons. But Yeonmyeung is perfectly calm, mentally counting the projectiles like it's nothing. 167 is it? He cracks a confident smile. A simple task, he states. Dude's seriously flexing right now. Wonjin's eyes widen in utter disbelief. Yeonmyeung is using a core principle of martial arts called attachment. This kid is built different. For a master like Yeonmyeung, who already realized these core principles through the sword in his past life, this is absolute child's play. He's practically nerfing their entire attack. He unleashes a powerful shockwave, effortlessly deflecting the entire barrage with a whoosh. Not a scratch on this boy. To the eyes of the others, the sight is simply a mind-bending shock. Their jaws are practically on the floor. Wonjin, however, realizes what truly happened. The hidden weapons weren't repelled, they were attracted. This kid's playing chess while they're playing checkers. The kids still can't believe it. All those weapons completely neutralized with just one swing. Their brains are officially broken. Yeonmyeung stands amidst the fallen weapons. He rips off his blindfold, looking straight at Wonjin. Did I pass? Wonjin is speechless, completely stunned. He's practically frozen until Aegeon has to call him out to snap him out of it. Finally, he collects himself, a bead of sweat tracing his face. Well, the result is the result, he mutters, clearly annoyed. He declares that Yeonmyeung has passed and can rest at the manor, muttering to himself that a monster has appeared. You can say that again. The others immediately protest, yelling, "Hey, you're not thinking of leaving your team behind to enjoy comfort alone, are you? They just can't handle the betrayal." Yeonmyeung pauses for a moment, a perfect deadpan look on his face. But then, a massive, utterly trollish grin spreads across his face. Oh no, wow. The manor must offer a different taste of meals, he exclaims, wondering if they even get food in the forest. This kid is just pure evil, I swear. The rest of Group 7 can only stand in silence, completely dumbfounded by what just happened. Their brains are still rebooting. But Yeonmyeung's parting shot, I'm looking forward to it, sends Tang Mirio absolutely over the edge. She screams at him to get back there. Poor girl. Watching this unfold, Instructor Wonjin is at least glad the other kids haven't lost their fighting spirit. A silver lining, I guess? Still, he thinks the battle was decided from the start. As Yeonmyeung gives a final, utterly taunting wave, Wonjin wonders to himself, perhaps this child could be the one. This kid's already leaving an impression. Yeonmyeung adds insult to injury with some helpful advice. Make sure to eat meat with every meal to grow big and strong. This kid might just revive the entire Tang family. Deep in the forest, a pack of monstrous wolves viciously tears into a fresh kill, their snarls echoing through the trees. They have yellow eyes, bluish skin, and enough teeth to make a dentist retire. They look less like wolves and more like nightmares. But their feast is abruptly cut short by a sudden attack from above. Our beloved Group 7 descends from the sky, blades drawn and ready for some serious payback. From the relative safety of a cave, Yori lets out a relieved sigh. Good thing the paralysis poison I prepared worked. Later, gathered around a crackling campfire, Mirio actually compliments Aegeon on his hard-earned skills. She reflects on just how incredibly tough the last 4 months have been for them. Their grand adventure started with a terrifying encounter with a massive bear, forcing them to literally flee for their lives. Unable to find any decent prey, they were reduced to chewing on bitter grass roots just to survive. Seriously, talk about roughing it. She even remembers the glorious moment they finally succeeded in hunting, all of them shedding tears of joy over a single measly rabbit. But hey, despite all the hardships, they actually managed to find a decent shelter in a cliffside cave. Sitting by the fire, Yuri sighs, wondering aloud, Yeonmyeung must be living comfortably by now, right? Mirio snaps instantly, yelling, don't even bring that guy up. She fumes, completely convinced he's just loafing around by himself somewhere, probably eating all the meat. Just you wait. Once that guy goes to the manor, he'll get what he absolutely deserves, she vows. But Aegeon looks genuinely worried. Considering the performance he showed earlier, if he's continued to train, how ridiculously strong must he have become? His words made Mirio pause. Then she notices something isn't quite right here. Where did all the meat go? She asks, looking at the now empty skewers over the fire. A small wisp of air drifts suspiciously up from behind them. Oh, it's Yuri, lying on the ground with a comically bloated stomach, letting out a satisfied burp. I ate it well, she mumbles. The next thing you know, Ijin and Mirio are locked in wielding daggers, ready to slice and dice a glutton. Oh no, but Yuri just innocently asks, why are you looking at me like that? Mirio yells, are you really asking me, you absolute pig? Meanwhile, far away at the Gangdong Mountains stronghold, Yeonmyeung is casually facing off against an entire squad from the Bongui Brigade. He stands there as they surround him, daggers glinting and ready for a fight. Instructor Tang Wonjin, Yeonmyeong's ever-watchful mentor, gives the order start now. Instantly, a storm of blades descends on Yeonmyeong from literally all sides. Talk about a rough test. But our boy moves like a total phantom, effortlessly dodging and weaving between every single lethal strike. The onslaught is absolutely relentless, but not a single weapon even grazes him. Seriously, what kind of cheat codes is this guy running? The brigade members smarten up, changing tactics and launching a coordinated volley of throwing knives. They press the attack, desperately attempting to trap him from every direction. But Yeonmyeong just casually leaps high into the air, easily avoiding their carefully laid trap. He's just next level. All right, time to test a new technique, he says smugly, and then his eyes begin to glow with a menacing green light. Oh, here we go, another power-up. The brigade members look up in alarm. Oh, here it comes, they exclaim. Yeonmyeong unleashes his power and a massive shockwave of energy erupts from him, sending all the weapons flying. The attackers are absolutely stunned. He just scattered all their weapons in midair. But wait, it's not just a shockwave. Those golden rings from his fingers are zipping through the air, actively redirecting the daggers. The weapons fly back with impossible speed, lightly grazing the brigade members. Just a little taste of their own medicine. They realize in horror that he's turned their entire attack back on them, faster than their eyes can even track. With his eyes glowing intensely, Yeonmyeong utters a single, chilling command, spin. And just like that, the weapons and rings begin to whirl in a deadly dance, creating a massive vortex that instantly incapacitates the entire squad. Tang Wujin watches in utter disbelief. This can't be. He neutralized trained members in an instant. He's even more amazed by the incredible control Yeonmyeong displayed, managing to only nick everyone's skin with such a wide area attack. Wonjin asks if Yeonmyeong created the technique himself, and Yeonmyeong, being the Chad he is, simply replies, yes. Wonjin picks up one of the golden rings, calling it an impressively cunning technique that would be difficult to escape. When asked for its name, Yeonmyeong dramatically reveals, I've named it Whirling Line Frenzy Dance. Sounds pretty sick, huh? Wonjin notes that such a powerful move must consume a lot of internal energy and asks how he manages it. Yeonmyeong explains that he once asked for a super-secret manual on eye techniques. He was recommended the complete piercing sky eyes since the current flow eyes technique was, incomplete. But then Yeonmyeong drops an absolute bombshell. I have mastered current flow eyes. Say what now? Wonjin is utterly stunned. How could he have mastered an incomplete technique, one that was missing its very core essence? Yeonmyeong explains that with those eyes, he can literally perceive the exact trajectory of weapons and use minimal internal energy to precisely redirect them. Total hacker move, right? Wonjin sighs, realizing that absolutely nothing about this kid surprises him anymore. He filled in the missing essence all on his own. Deciding it's finally time, Wonjin reveals that in 2 months, Yeonmyeong's teammates will arrive to undergo the same exact test. Get ready for a reunion. He adds that while they're already skilled enough, they insisted on returning more polished. Sounds like some serious grinding. Yeonmyeong smiles. Is that so? I'm excited to see how ridiculously strong those friends have become. Wonjin privately muses that it doesn't even matter what they use for training, thinking of a crude drawing pinned to a target. Oh, the motivation. Yeonmyeong looks up at the sky, contemplatively pondering the vast concept of fate. In his past life, his only real connection was with his terrifying master, the Sword Ghost, a legendary demonic-looking master of swords. But now he's actually forming new connections, something that feels like part of the ordinary life he always wanted. Our boy's growing. For some reason, he finds himself genuinely wanting to see them again soon. Who knew this Chad had a heart? Back at the cave, the argument about Yeonmyeong and the missing food continues to rage. Meanwhile, the rest of Group 7 makes their way through the forest, their steps heavy with newfound menacing purpose. Mirio reflects that on their first day they were just pathetic novices. Now they've reached a completely different level of power. Look at that purple aura. She's actually truly excited at the thought of meeting Yeonmyeong again. To give him a good old beatdown. Yuri, on the other hand, grits her teeth and vows, I'll split his head in half. Ijan just stares ahead silently, looking grim. The quiet ones are always the scariest. A bystander flinches, clearly intimidated by their sheer intensity, and who can blame him? Watching the trio emanate a fiery, ominous aura, he thinks to himself, what's with them? I'm terrified. Finally arriving at the Grand Manor, the group dramatically calls out, Yeonmyeung, come out right now. But there's no answer. Mirio looks around, completely confused. Why is it so quiet? Yuri starts laughing maniacally, mocking, did he run away? Too bad, I wanted to smash his head. Always with the head smashing Yuri, Mirio quickly turns her head sharply. Ijeon, you've been quiet since earlier. But before she can even finish, she sees Yeonmyeung standing right behind Ijeon, arm casually slung over his shoulder. Look who it is. I was hiding to surprise you, he says coolly, looking right at the shocked girls. What were you going to do with my head? Oh, the payback. He gives them a friendly but utterly terrifying smile. Cutie, he adds. Yeonmyeung, you little agent of chaos. Mirio and Yuri, meanwhile, are just staring, completely flabbergasted. And Yeonmyeung? Oh, he's got that grin, ready to rub it in. Talking about smashing heads, huh? Let's see what you learned after 6 months of grinding. Yuri, bless her heart, immediately panics, hands flailing. No, we were totally kidding. Just a joke, my dude. The whole squad is just baffled. Months in the forest, senses sharp as a hawk, and they still couldn't detect our main character? What kind of stealth buff is that? Yeonmyeung, looking way too pleased, has Ijeon and Yuri in a classic headlock. Seriously, what has this guy been secretly grinding while they were out here suffering? Mirio, though, she's actually staring at him. He's taller, and, dare she think it, hotter? Wow, what a glow-up. She blushes bright red, shaking her head like, what am I even thinking? Is it just because I've only seen furry woodland creatures for months? Girl, we get it. Yeonmyeung, ever the charmer, tells them not to sweat it. He admits they're way stronger now, like stats boosted. But then with that signature smug, sparkling grin, he's like, it's just that, you guys look less impressive because I'm here. Oh, our main character, always humble. Mirio can only sweat drop in pure annoyance. Yep, some things, like Yeonmyeung's ego, never get nerfed. Later that night, the instructors gather for a top-secret meeting to discuss the participants' progress. Drama incoming. Jigal Changjin gets straight to it, asking, anyone noteworthy in your group? One of the instructors reports that participant number 2 has shown insane growth, like next-level stuff. Her power isn't from surviving, he says. It's fueled by a burning, fiery hostility towards someone specific. Someone's about to get roasted. Another instructor chimes in, hey, don't forget Tang Clan, participant number 10. He passed the warrior's test in just 1 month. Bro's a speedrunner. Jigal Changshin recognizes the other trainees as he recalls his group and the super unsettling presence of number 28. The instructor flashes back to Yeonmyeung effortlessly shattering a formation. He pulled off skills even grandmasters couldn't. This kid's got cheats. He is terrified. Recruiting Yeonmyeung is too risky, he thinks. The kid knows he's been scheming. Another instructor notices his distress, but he just laughs it off, lying like a rug. No one outstanding in my group. Yeah, right, buddy. The discussion turns to finding a controllable puppet. Someone suggests number 2, noting her facial injury makes her an emotional target. Harsh? Much? The Jago family head then lays out the master plan. His nephew becomes young clan leader, marries number 2. Boom. Their family becomes an official external Tang branch. By doing this, they'll gain influence and eventually merge with the Tang family. That's the real reason they supported this whole competition. It's all about power plays. As the meeting ends, the family head internally plots. Yeonmyeung is too valuable. If he survives, they'll tempt him with sweet, sweet revenge. This dude's got backup plans for days. He lets out a maniacal laugh, imagining his double victory. Meanwhile, back in the courtyard, Group 7 is finally getting some proper training. Mirio lands a perfect dart shot, bullseye. The girls cheer. Mirio thinks that even though their training has doubled, nothing beats the comfort of a good night's sleep. And look at her, twitching in her sleep. The struggle is real. Mirio asks Yuri about Ijeon and Yeonmyeung. Mirio confirms Ijeon stormed into the poison lab, vowing to kill Yeonmyeung, and she's worried, since Ijeon is their best poison maker. In the lab, Ijeon proudly presents his masterpiece. See, this is the poison I poured my whole soul into making. He's so proud. Yeonmyeung doesn't even hesitate. He grabs the bowl and downs the entire thing in one go. Chug, chug, chug. Ijeon totally freaks out, shaking Yeonmyeung like a rag doll. Spit it out, man. You'll die if you keep this up. Yeonmyeong's cheeks puff out, and our bull-haired boy panics, thinking the poison is already working. You sure there, buddy? But instead of dying, Yeonmyeung unleashes a massive cloud of green poison gas right in Ijeon's face, hurting his eyes. Yeonmyeung stands over Ijeon, a triumphant smile on his face. Ijeon comes to, screaming in disbelief. What are you talking about? That poison could melt even your insides. How are you still okay? Yeonmyeong just grins. Well, maybe your poison is just subpar? Oof. That's a verbal smackdown. Outside, Mirio and Yuri can only watch in confusion. The poison isn't working at all. This is wild. To add insult to injury, Yeonmyeung drinks the rest of the poison like it's booze, then shows Ijeon the empty bowl. Ijeon slams his fist on the table. Darn it, why isn't it working? Are you immune to all poisons, or what? Yeonmyeung reveals his secret. It's the Tang family's core technique, the poison refining madness. Sounds epic, right? He explains that a true master of poisons shouldn't be harmed by them. Instead, they should control any poison that enters their body. Now that's a power flex. For him, poisons are transformed into internal energy. Within a certain threshold, they're no different from an elixir. Our boy is basically a human detox machine. But this isn't something you can just imitate. It needs a profound realization that Ijeon, who only sees poison as a weapon, totally lacks. Get good, Ijeon? However, these weak poisons are barely increasing his internal energy anymore. He needs something stronger, like way stronger. He muses on the threats to his ordinary life, the scary clan elders, the remnants of the Heaven's Brilliance Demon Lord's forces, and the Black Death Alliance, whose leader is a genius who already destroyed 3 of the 9 great factions. To live a normal human life and protect it, he needs to become as strong as he was in his past life. Time to grind to max level. Ijeon casually wishes he could create one of the legendary 10 poisons of the Tang family. But surprise, surprise, Yeonmyeung has no idea about it. Ijeon scolds him for his ignorance, explaining they are the 10 strongest poisons from their ancestors, with power increasing with their number. Nerd alert, most formulas are lost, but the 10th poison, it was so potent that even transcendent-level masters couldn't withstand it. Whoa! The remaining supply of the 10th poison is managed by the clan elders. Yeonmyeung listens, his interest clearly piqued. A greedy, drooling grin spreads across his face. Now that sounds like a poison worth coveting. Seriously, dude, you're drooling. Yeonmyeung asks Ijeon a simple question. So can you make the 10th poison? Ijeon immediately dismisses the idea. The formulas are ancient history. Yeonmyeung just sighs, complaining that Ijeon's poisons don't even give him a buzz anymore. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the competition, another participant warns his opponent. Things are about to get spicy. He tells her the 10th poison is forbidden. She wouldn't survive drinking it. But wait, what's that behind him? He starts choking, face contorting in agony. You, what have you done to me? This isn't looking good. The victim coughs violently as a bright light starts to glow from within his mouth. What in the actual heck is happening? Tang Ryung smiles coldly. What's wrong with my face? She taunts, totally enjoying the show. Her victim can only let out a strangled gasp before he's completely consumed by an internal fiery explosion. Boom, gone. His hand, still reaching out, crumbles into tiny pieces. No, not the hand. Ryung watches, a bit stunned, as the rest of her opponent's body shatters. And that was wild. He was incinerated in an instant, she thinks. This is some next-level magic. A sinister grin spreads across her face as she marvels at the power her grandfather gave her. This is the Tang family's 10 poisons. She lets out a low, satisfied laugh, clearly enjoying her newfound strength. Look at her, a happy little psychopath. She remembers a past humiliation, a day she can never forget. Oh, a villain origin story flashback. With a twisted, burning grin, she vows, I'll make sure to torment you plenty in this goo poison match, Yeonmyeung. Well, looks like our main character has a new arch-nemesis. Well, while our new villain was busy plotting, a whole year zipped by for Yeonmyeung and the squad. They've been grinding hard, but trust me folks, the real game is only just beginning. Suddenly, Instructor Wonjin, who seems to love dropping bombshells, gathers the gang. He's like, alright, time to pick a team leader. It's only temporary, he says, but by year 3, they'll be stuck with whoever they pick. And guess what? This isn't just for bragging rights. This leader is their champion for the totally deadly goo poison match. No pressure. Instructor Wonjin makes it crystal clear, this is a life-or-death gig. Only the absolute strongest, most outstanding warrior gets this honor. Makes sense. Yuri's a bit lost, but Mirio, ever the pragmatist, spells it out. If everyone fought, the weak would just well die. So achievements are the decider here. Instructor Wonjin cuts straight to the chase and nominates the one, the only, participant 28, Tang Yeonmyeung. Bet he saw that coming. Ijeon, bless his heart, even admits Yeonmyeung isn't just leader material, he's the frontrunner for the entire competition. The rest of the squad is silent, grim-faced. So no objections? Good. Yeonmyeung, step right up, buddy. And for his troubles, a small wooden box. Inside, a mysterious, brightly glowing orb. Ooh, shiny. This isn't just any orb. It's the legendary elixir Heavenly Heart Pill. Made from 100-year-old ginseng, this bad boy rockets your internal energy to the moon. His teammates? Absolutely stunned, and probably a little envious. Who wouldn't be? Instructor Wonjin explains it's a team leader perk, a symbol of the Tang family's super high hopes for Yeonmyeung. But wait, just as the instructor is hyping up this priceless artifact, Yeonmyeung cuts him off. Anything else? He asks. He actually asks for something other than the elixir. His teammates? Speechless, jaw on the floor. Our boy just doesn't quit. The rest of Group 7 absolutely loses their minds. Even the instructor is baffled. What else could you possibly want besides a super power boost? He wonders. But Yeonmyeung doesn't want power-ups, guys. He wants a potent poison. Gulp. And not just any poison. He wants one of the legendary, terrifying 10 poisons of the Tang family. Remember those? Oh boy. A bit later, Yeonmyeung returns. No glowing pill, though. Instead, he's got a whole arsenal, daggers, shurikens, and a bunch of tiny vials. Yeonmyeung shrugs, explaining that since the 10 poisons were a no-go, he just grabbed these weapons instead. Sensible? Maybe for him. Mirio completely snaps. She lunges at him, probably thinking, "You absolute idiot." But Ijan holds her back, reminding her, "Hey, it's his choice, Mirio. We gotta respect the Chad's decisions, even if they're nuts." He then cheerfully adds, "At least the elders will be thrilled we saved that super valuable pill. Silver linings, right?" Except Yeonmyeung casually drops a bombshell. He hasn't actually returned the pill yet. Okay, rewind a few hours. Flashback time. The instructor is still completely baffled, handing over the weapons. Who chooses shurikens over god-tier stats? Yeonmyeung, ever the minimalist, just said these weapons are sufficient. He's chill like that. Then our boy asks a very curious question. What's gonna happen to that fancy pill now, huh? The instructor says he'll return it, but Yeonmyeung grins, revealing he just had an interesting idea. Oh no, what fresh chaos is he brewing? His idea? A total bombshell. He's putting the elixir up for grabs. Anyone who can defeat him in battle becomes leader and gets the pill. Artist, you know our boy loves a good gamble. The entire team's jaws collectively drop to the floor. Back in the flashback, the instructor actually approved this. He thinks it's great motivation and a good investment. Sure, good luck with that. Back in the present, Yeonmyeung just sits back, inviting them to challenge him anytime. You know he's loving this. And Mirio, she doesn't waste a second. "Bring me my shurikens," she screams. Oh, it is so on. Yeonmyeung watches them run off. But trust me, he's got a much grander promise brewing in that twisted mind of his. He declares that when he becomes the young clan leader, everyone gets a heavenly heart pill. Now that's what I call a campaign promise. With his team officially challenging him, Yeonmyeung decides it's time to show them who's boss. Time to establish that pecking order once and for all. He comes out and says, "Here I come, you guys." And then the montage begins. Seasons fly by. Each one packed with relentless, brutal training. No chill at all. And through it all, one thing remains constant. Yeonmyeung absolutely dominates his teammates. Bam. Another one bites the dust. He casually asks Ijin if this is like the 173rd time he's lost now. Oof, he's rubbing it in. Yuri and Mirio have actually become his biggest fans. Yuri gushes that watching Yeonmyeung fight is the highlight of her day. Who knew? Even the perpetually grumpy Mirio has to admit it. Watching Yeonmyeung is actually pretty entertaining. Yeonmyeung offers a hand to his defeated teammate, then makes a bold declaration, "I'm taking the young clan leader position. Mark my words." Completely won over, he admits he can't imagine anyone beating Yeonmyeung now. Our boy's got a fan club. He just asks that Yeonmyeung doesn't forget them when he's at the top. They shake on it. A new, unbreakable bond is formed. With the year of challenges finally over, the instructor formally appoints participant number 28, Yeonmyeung, as the official team leader. It's happening. He announces the real goo poison match starts tomorrow. They need to be ready. Yeonmyeung, calm as ever, simply accepts. The instructor reflects on the sheer brutalness of this competition. Other teams, they've had dropouts, even deaths. Yikes. But not Group 7. Oh no, they're all still here, alive and kicking, and they've grown strong enough to rival the legendary Bangui Brigade. Take that, suckers. Then he gives them one final chilling warning about the match to come. Yeonmyeung looks annoyed, probably thinking, just get to the good stuff already. Up until now, poison and sparring was a big no-no. But in the goo poison match, anything short of the 10 poisons is totally fair game. He tells Yeonmyeung to use everything at his disposal to win. You know our boy took that to heart. And finally, Yeonmyeung receives the poisons he requested earlier. Look at him, a kid in a candy store but with vials of death. Ijan gives him the rundown, warning him one drop is lethal. Don't mistake it for your lunchbox, he says. Good advice for our unhinged protagonist. But despite the serious warnings, Ijin isn't worried. He just needs one thing, a promise from Yeonmyeung that he'll win. Yeonmyeung agrees with a simple yes as he blocks Ijan's fist bump. Oof. Then he gets a little too pumped and punches Yeonmyeung right in the face. With a nosebleed, Yeonmyeung just laughs it off. He claims they're the only ones who could have hurt him anyway. He is just too powerful. The others just stare, completely baffled by his comment. With a final wave, Yeonmyeung says his goodbyes and walks towards a shimmering, glowing portal. Time for the main event. Clutching a vial of poison, a girl prepares herself. The day of the goo poison match has finally arrived. Let the games begin. Yeonmyeong's thinking about a new, mysterious ally she's made. Ooh, what's she cooking now? She finds herself in a surreal blue, misty space. And who's waiting there? A mysterious, shadowy figure. Hello there, new NPC. Yeonmyeung is genuinely surprised. The Jaegel family? She asks. Offering to help me? What's the catch? The clan member explains that since his family built the arena, manipulating it for Yeonmyeung would be quote-unquote easy. But she isn't buying it for a second. She knows there's a catch, asking directly, "Alright, what do you want from me?" The guy admits his family is weak and wants to join forces with the mighty Tang family but without losing all their power. Yeonmyeung, with her typical sharp insight, cuts to the chase. "You want to use me as a political pawn," she says. "What if I just refuse your flimsy proposal, huh?" He insists he's here to build trust first, then asks her to name her price. The negotiation is on, and now we're seeing an intense close-up on this girl's disfigured, glowing red eye. She seethes, "I've been waiting 3 years for this day. Now I'll kill you and take back the life I lost." There is a gruesome scar covering half her face. She's smiling menacingly, clearly eager for this reunion. But wait, because another familiar face pops up, Tang Jong-il, now the grim and determined leader of Team 2. Meanwhile, the genuinely psychotic Tang Clan stands over a pile of bodies, looking disappointed. He calls the Tang family's strongest forces nothing but all talk. As the leader of Team 3, he steps through a portal, clearly hoping to find some more interesting opponents inside. The other team leaders are revealed. We've got the fierce Tang Hiran of Team 4, and the perpetually annoyed-looking Tang Jiol of Team 5. Next up is the stoic leader of Team 6, Tang Myungso. He looks like he means business. And now we're back to Yeonmyeung, the leader of Team 7. He looks out at the beautiful scenery. With a big smile, he declares, "Wow, it's a perfect day for someone to die." And with that, the goo poison match officially begins. Get ready for some serious poison mayhem. But wait, what's this? High above, an observer is watching. Instructor Jaegel is like, "Aha, number 28 from Team 7 has finally graced us with his presence." And he decides, "Nope, the Jaegel family made their move, so I gotta take this Yeonmyeung kid out, pronto. Can't have any unexpected variables ruining my day." Hold up. Instructor Jaegel is suddenly startled. He gets this unsettling feeling like Yeonmyeung from way down there is staring right back at him. Gulp. Poof. No way, right? He immediately dismisses it. Impossible, he thinks. No one can see through this many layers of my super-duper secret formations. But just as he's scoffing, his entire vision just shatters, like a broken screen. Yep, Yeonmyeung thinks, definitely felt an unpleasant gaze. It must be those meddling Jaegel family folks. He recalls the rules, no outsiders interfering. But our guy's like, whatever, let them try their luck. I'll just deal with them after I'm done with this goo poison match. And with that chilling thought, Yeonmyeung steps off the cliff. Time to start the hunt. Meanwhile, our observer is absolutely terrified. "How?" he screams. "How did that kid see me through all my formations?" He clutches his face, and now we're seeing his special, glowing red eyes. Turns out, if he hadn't pulled back his true side eyes in time, Yeonmyeung would have legit blinded him. Yikes. He's absolutely marveling at Yeonmyeong's power now. The boy's swordsmanship is so powerful it could actually cut through the very fabric of space and formations. He concludes Yeonmyeong is way too dangerous and will absolutely come for revenge. "So, we have to stop him no matter the cost," he declares. "Good luck with that, old man." Elsewhere in this lovely forest, a completely different kind of horror is unfolding. A wounded female participant is stumbling through the trees, running for her life. Tang Hiran cries out, "How did it come to this? She never ever wanted to die in this messed up death game. Poor gal, I feel ya." All she wanted was to get a decent score, join the clan's forces, and maybe, just maybe, provide for her poor parents. What a sweet, innocent goal for a death match. She didn't even care about the young clan leader title. Her plan was to just peace out with a mutual surrender. But then, he showed up. Enter Tang Clan. He appears with a blood-splattered, absolutely psychotic grin. The guy is a walking red flag. Yeah, he wasn't there to compete for any fancy titles. Nope, Tang Clan was just there to kill. Back in the present, Hiran is still fleeing, vowing to surrender to literally anyone she finds. She even decides if Clan becomes the leader, I'm ditching the Tang family for good. Suddenly, a voice drips from behind her. It's Clan mockingly saying, "Oh, didn't last very long, did you?" Gasp. He stands there holding 2 severed heads, grotesque enough to pass for horror site material. "Your speed was decent," he sneers, "but your internal energy? Pathetic. Ouch." She screams, pleading, "But we're all part of the same Tang family," hoping to appeal to his non-existent mercy. He just asks, "So what? Talk about a savage comeback, or just a psychopath?" With a truly deranged smile, he declares, "I've never once considered myself a member of the Sichuan Tang family." And in a brutal flash, snike. Hiran's head is severed from her body. Well, that escalated quickly. R.I.P. pink and blonde-haired girl. While absolute chaos and head-chopping reign elsewhere, our main man Yeonmyeung has found himself a nice secluded cave. Perfect, he thinks. Always optimizing this guy. He senses no one, nothing that alerts his super-duper senses. Yep, he confirms. This is the spot for some serious grinding. He smiles confidently. Time to quickly ascend to the transcendent level, because why wait? Our MC is on a power trip. He calmly sits down to meditate, completely confident his body is strong enough to handle this without any messy side effects. Overconfident much, Yeonmyeung. So to hit transcendent status, he needs enlightenment and internal energy to open his poison meridians. Thanks to his past life, he's basically already Buddha level enlightened. Plus those friendly poisons Ajan gave him, they've been steadily boosting his internal energy this whole time. All preparations are complete. It's glow-up time. He lets out a mighty roar as he unleashes all that accumulated power from his poison refining madness's technique. Get ready for some fireworks, y'all. His internal energy just bursts forth. Normally, this process is like incredibly painful. We're talking bones breaking and reforming. Ouch. It's a full-on metamorphosis, a total rebirth. But because he's already done this once in his past life, it's apparently not so difficult this time. Must be nice. The transformation completes with a blinding flash of light. He's super glad he cleansed his meridians beforehand because any impurities would have been a massive headache. He brushes some stray filth off his clothes. It's just the beginning, he says to himself. But hey, not bad for a quick power-up. Humble much? Time to test out the new stats. He notes there aren't many physical changes, but the real difference, my friends, is all on the inside. That's what counts, right? He channels his brand new, super potent energy into his fingertips and then unleashes it. Get ready for some serious damage. Boom! A massive wave of force rips through the cave, shattering rock and tearing up the ground. The efficiency, absolutely impressive. Yeonmyeung's definitely no longer nerfed. Satisfied with the absolute destruction he just caused, he decides it's time to actually start moving and maybe, win this match. Meanwhile, back in the real goo poison match, Guklin is looking down at another opponent. Didn't you come here to be the young clan leader? He taunts Jong-il. Why are you so weak? The beaten man curses his luck. Of all the people in this giant forest, it just had to be Guklin, the Grand Elder's monstrously strong, terrifying favorite pupil. What a bad spawn point. He thinks he might have had a chance if he attacked first, but he couldn't even get close. As he stares death in the face, his thoughts drift to one person. Guess who? Yep, Yeonmyeung. And get this, the thought that he's dying to Guklin instead of having to face Yeonmyeung actually eases his mind. Is this guy going crazy? Or is Yeonmyeung really that scary? Guklin notices the man's weird, weak laugh. Why are you laughing? He asks. Got some secret power? Jong-il shakes his head. No, I just thought of someone scarier than you. Guklin's eye actually twitches in annoyance. Well, that's a bit insulting, isn't it? He grumbles. Our psychopath doesn't like being second best in the scare department. Then I'll just have to make myself even scarier. Guklin snaps. Want a little secret? I'm a legacy for the Black Death Alliance. Jeomil's eyes go wide with shock. What? He screams. Guklin just grins. Well, now that you know my super secret identity, I can't possibly leave you alive, can I? Asks the villain. You're going to die soon anyway, Guklin says with a flourish, so I'll tell you my real name. I'm from the Great Dark Moon Sword Sect. My name is Mak-in-guk, and now we know his secret. But wait, what's happening? Jeomil looks up, utterly confused. And nearby, Tang Guklin suddenly finds himself completely paralyzed. Then, heavy footsteps, and who strolls into the clearing, walking right past the absolutely terrified Guklin. But he's not even looking at Guklin. Nope, he has his eyes on someone else entirely. Is that a familiar face I see? He muses. Oh Yeonmyeung, you drama king. Stopping right in front of his old bully, Jong-il, Yeonmyeung says sweetly, nice to see you. Have you healed from the last time we met? Oh, that's cold. A bloody Jong-il stares back in utter disbelief and confusion. He doesn't even recognize him. Who are you? He asks. Yeonmyeung's glow-up is so real, his old bully can't even clock him. But wait, hold up. Let's get a flashback on our paralyzed pal. Turns out, Tang Guklin has a dark mission: spy for the infamous Sichuan Tang family. His handler spills the beans, pretend to be an orphan, join this competition, and thin the herd. His target, the Tangs, eliminate rivals, weaken the family, easy peasy. Success meant family acknowledgement, but snap back to the present and Guklin's on the ground. His insides, dissolving in pure agony. Yeonmyeung is totally unbothered. Meanwhile, a battered Jong-il is completely clueless. Did this guy do this? He's thinking. Guklin just writhes, his whole body screaming, what did you do to me, Yeonmyeung? Suddenly, Jong-il finally clocks him. Wait, you're Yeonmyeung? The Tang Yeonmyeung? He asks, utterly shocked. Yeonmyeung claps back with indeed, why? Need another faceplant to believe it, buddy. Oh, that's savage. Terrified, Jong-il says. Ah, no, it's really you. Absolutely. Yeonmyeung points to the downed Guklin. So this guy's a spy, right? Jong-il frantically confirms. Yep, he admitted it himself. Jong-il adds he's from the Dark Moon Sword Sect. Yeonmyeung's like, Aha, so that's who is tailing us. Snap, decision made. Let's capture him first, Yeonmyeung declares, flicking a thin needle through the air. Swoosh. Thwack! The needle strikes Guklin, who lets out a choked, desperate cry. Jungil gasps, poison needle. You coated it with poison, Yeonmyeung? What kind of poison causes this? Jungil asks our boy. And then he comments we can detoxify him to extract information, but if he tries to seize the moment, Yeonmyeung dismisses it. He's from Black Death Alliance, right? His motives are clear. No need for chit-chat, he says. Cold as ice. Man, you've really changed, haven't you? Jungil remarks. I mean, we had bad blood, Jungil continues, but you seem totally unfazed by me. He coolly admits, if that was still an issue, I'd be the one lying there now. Suddenly, Jungil drops into a deep bow. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Yeonmyeung actually looks taken aback. Forget about it. Yeonmyeung waves dismissively. I don't dwell on the past. Just let it go. But Jungil insists. This won't settle the past, but I had to sincerely apologize. Yeonmyeung sighs. It's fine, really. No need to fuss, he says, slightly annoyed. As Jungil's apology drones on, his eyes are suddenly wide. What did he see? He screams. Yeonmyeung, behind you. With glowing red eyes, Guklin roars. If I'm gonna die anyway, I'll take you guys with me. He swings his sword in a brutal, dark arc straight for Yeonmyeung. Slash. I'll take at least you, he screams, a crazed grin plastered on his face. Jungil can only watch in horror, screaming Yeonmyeong's name. Oh no, is this it? But just as Guklin's sword is about to connect, he suddenly freezes. What? He says, utterly confused. Bam. Yeonmyeong appears behind him, completely unharmed. I don't usually spare a dying man, he says coldly, but if you insist on attacking, I'll erase you without leaving a single trace. He places a hand on Guklin's shoulder. Wouldn't it be easier if there's no corpse to clean up later, huh? Brr, chilling. Guklin's eye fills with tears of pure terror. That's a true nerfing. With a final whispered, "You're ruthless," Guklin collapses to the ground, dead, just like that. Wow. Jungil is totally overwhelmed. Guklin was a top contender using his sect's ultimate poisonous martial art. But our Yeonmyeung dealt with him effortlessly. Then he turns to Jungil. So what's it gonna be? It's just you and me now. How should we decide this little competition, huh? Without a second's hesitation, Jungil drops the bomb. If you allow it, I surrender. There's literally no other choice. He adds he doesn't know the way out. But Yeonmyeong just casually opens a swirling spatial portal behind him. Leave, Yeonmyeong says flatly. No need for a big send-off, right? Jungil is left speechless. As the portal closes, he murmurs, yeah, thank you for sparing my life. A small, genuine smile appears on his face. Good luck, Yeonmyeong. Well, that's a character redemption arc. Meanwhile, over at the Dark Moon Sword Sect headquarters, Mak In-hoo is overseeing his soldiers. Suddenly, a terrible realization hits him. Oh no. The spiritual life stone connected to his son crumbles in his hand. Boom. Link severed. Guklin is officially dead. The youngest has died, he thinks. Get ready for the daddy rage. He remembers Guklin, a child born to him and a servant who had more talent than all his legitimate brothers combined. His own wife, fearing Guklin would usurp the heir's place, tried to kill him over a dozen times. Mak In-hoo admits he was a pretty trash father, but now he's just filled with rage. At least I'll settle his grudge, he roars. Talk about belated fatherly support. He roars to his troops. Order the whole group. Prepare for departure to Gangdong Mountain. The day of reckoning for the Tang family is near. He orders his chief contact the other sects. With eyes glowing with murderous intent, he screams, not a single Tang will return alive from Gangdong Mountain. That's a full-on revenge quest. Back at the ghoul poison match, Yeonmyeong travels alone through the forest at night. Something feels off. He's been running day and night, not a soul in sight. He realizes the vast formation is being manipulated to prevent people from meeting. He concludes the remaining survivors are in league with the Jekyll family. They're boosting their own influence. Classic villains, eh? Predictable people. He scoffs, taking a bite of food. He's hoarding roasted meat in his mouth like winter's coming. Elsewhere, Instructor Jekyll feels a sudden chill. He mutters, our arrogant plans will cost us dearly. Is that Yeonmyeong's chill? Probably. Yeonmyeong now rests in the grass, admiring the magnificent night sky. A rare moment of peace for our boy. He wishes he could show it to his mother, wondering how she's doing. As he starts to doze off, a figure looms over. Oh, what now? Someone is here? A shadowy figure stands right over him. No rest for the wicked, I guess. It's a woman with a distinct spiky earring. Looks like trouble. Young Ryong speaks. I requested to meet either the last survivor or Tang Yeonmyeong in a vulnerable moment. Oh, she's a clever one. She thinks this guy doesn't look like Tang Guklin. R.I.P. to that boy. She looks down at Yeonmyeong, who's resting peacefully. She can't help but think handsome. LOL. Even his enemies are simping. Her expression hardens as she mistakenly identifies him. So Jaegil Changjin's nephew should be something like this. Uh-oh, wrong guy, lady. She pops a pill. A pity about the face, I guess. Anyway, this guy has to die. With a swirl of deadly purple energy, she unleashes her arsenic poisons technique. Whoosh! She tells him not to resent her. It's a battle royale, only one survives. You must have been prepared, she says. But Yeonmyeung's voice cuts through the air, casually flipping her words back. I'm not sure if you were prepared, though. Darn right, he's awake. In a flash, a hand clamps around her throat, cutting off her attack before it can even begin. He's already on his feet, effortlessly lifting her by her neck. She chokes. Oopsie. He gets straight to the point. Are you the one colluding with the Jaegil family? No time for pleasantries. He calls out her entire strategy, hiding while everyone else fought, then ambushing the last vulnerable person. What a brilliant plan, right? She struggles violently, a horrifying thought dawning. He knew I was coming? Of course he did, my friend. Half of her face appears, and it's not pretty. A red eye sunk deep in scar-riddled skin. If you want to breathe, he tells her, answer quickly without hiding anything. And that is how you deal with an assassin. Yeonmyeung's up in the air, completely helpless and panicking. Yeonmyeung is just that good. Worse, she dropped her blade. Oh no. That poison dagger? Useless. Then a realization cuts through the night. Wait, could you be Tang Yeonmyeung? Yeonmyeung is utterly floored. How on earth does he know her name? Yeonmyeung just grins. After all the trouble you've caused me, you haven't changed one bit. Yep, we're all familiar with their history. Should I disfigure your entire face this time? Meanwhile, let's cut to a totally different vibe. Instructor Jaegil is losing his mind. Ah, darn it. The plan has completely gone awry. He's furious. Yeonmyeung, our infamous number 28, basically steamrolled his entire setup. He can't see anything. His plan was simple. Number 10 was supposed to swiftly take out all the competitors. But then he hit our boy, number 28, and poof, his momentum was gone. Just like that. The Elder wonders if number 2, his own candidate, ever stood a chance against the monstrous number 28. Honestly, probably not. Considering the time it took for number 10 to obliterate his opponents, he concludes it's highly unlikely. If number 28 wins, all his hard work is for nothing. Sucks to be him. Just as he's about to throw in the towel, he senses something big. Huh? From outside the formation? What in the world is happening now? Up on a ridge, a massive army just materialized. Their collective energy is like impossible to miss. This is not looking good. Jung Song, the Cheonjin sect leader, talks to Mak In-hoo. Don't you think using full force against the newcomers of the Tang family is a bit much? He points to the assembled warriors. Your disciples and mine alone total over 200. With forces from other sects, we're over 300 strong. Man, that's a lot of people. Mak In-hoo just scoffs. Facing the Tang family with this force might seem excessive, but this is Gangdong Mountain sect's territory. It's a necessary measure. He explains that the local sect's influence is far greater than the collapsed Tang families. Any smaller force would risk being wiped out. Yeonsong gets it. Once Gangdong realizes they're not the target, they'll just grab some popcorn and watch the show. Typical. He then asks about the spy Mak In-hoo planted in the competition. It failed. He was someone I cherished. In-hoo replies. Enough chatter. Let's set off. In-hoo shouts. Back at his scrying basin, the Jaegil Elder gasps. Dark Moon Sword Sect leader Mak In-hoo. Why is he here? The Elder is totally panicking. In-hoo shouldn't know about this unless he's involved. Spy check. Someone's been snitching. Then a truly evil thought sparks. If he could use their hands to kill number 28, his own plans would stay secret. Genius. He grins a truly sinister grin. Oh, you know this dude is cooking up something nasty. Back to our main event. Yeonmyeung is gritting her teeth, furious she didn't recognize Yeonmyeung. But sneakily, she pulls out a tiny red vial. Uh-oh. Yeonmyeung is totally distracted. That thing on your blade, is it poison? He asks, eyeing the fallen dagger. He's always focused on the wrong things. She sees her chance. Yeonmyeung, she screams, lunging forward with the open vial. You go, girl. Nope. Useless. Yeonmyeung instantly catches her wrist, stopping her cold. Instead of answering, you're making unnecessary attempts, he's totally unbothered. He just calmly takes the vial. What is it? Judging by the color, it's the same as the poison on the blade, but there's hardly any. Is he like a poison connoisseur? Then he grabs her face, his voice dropping low. Won't you say a single word? Should we revisit the old days for a bit? Oh, now you decide to speak? Open wide, he taunts, moving the vial towards her mouth. She panics. No, wait, I'll talk. Too late, girl. But Yeonmyeung just grins. No, you might as well taste it to know what kind of poison it is. And he pries her mouth open. What a psycho. It's one of the Tang family's 10 poisons. Fire Dragon's poison. Oh, that's not good. Yeonmyeung looks at the vial, genuinely surprised. He didn't think the legendary 10 poisons would be used so recklessly in a simple competition. This is next level. A greedy smile spreads. My elixir. If I had let her consume it, it would have been a waste. He's really out here calling deadly poisons elixirs. Yeonmyeung starts full-on begging, tears streaming down her face. I surrender. I'll even help you fight the other participants. Just let me go. Desperate times calls for desperate measures. Yeonmyeung cuts her off, squeezing her jaw. You haven't answered. Are you in cooperation with the Jago family? What promises were exchanged with them? Girl, just get to the point. He warns her, hesitate, and you're getting fed the fire dragon's poison. Understood? Our boy means business. She quickly spills the tea. It was a marriage proposal, an alliance to merge the Jago and Tang families, all to ensure steadfast loyalty. The proposal was for her to marry the future young clan leader, a dream she eagerly accepted. Sounds like a classic political marriage trope. Yeonmyeung ponders her fate. What to do with them? Kill them? Beat them? He uncorks the vial, chugging it all in. He shoves Yeonmyeung aside. She stares in disbelief. What are you doing? Her mind explodes. He drank it. He lowers the empty vial, a slight blush on his cheeks. Oh, this is unexpectedly strawberry flavored. Are you kidding me right now? Suddenly, Yeonmyeong's body erupts in a massive column of pure fire. Boom! Get that CGI ready? Yeonmyeung throws her head back, laughing maniacally. Idiot, to bring Tang family's 10 poisons to your own lips. She thinks she won. Even the invulnerability of 1,000 poisons can't handle this. Die right there, Tang Yeonmyeung. She's really feeling herself. But wait a minute. Her smile falters as she realizes his grip isn't weakening at all. Uh-oh. That's really surprising. The fire suddenly vanishes, leaving Yeonmyeung completely unharmed. She's speechless. Dude's basically invincible. Tang Yeonmyeung is in absolute shock. How? This can't be happening? Could it be? The gears are turning. She recalls a legendary state within the Tang family, total poison immunity, and the power to kill with 1 drop of blood. The realm of the poisoner. This is some serious cheat code stuff. Her grandfather told her it was real, but she never imagined Yeonmyeong's unhinged guy could possibly achieve it. He coldly asks if she seriously thought she could kill him. I'm not of such a soft temperament, he says, then drops her to the ground with a pathetic thud. He examines his hand. The energy from his poison refining madness technique feels different. Is that a little flame? Looks like a buff. A powerful, fiery aura erupts around him. He wonders if this is the power of the blazing sun, noting that the Tang family's poisons seem to have mastered both yin and yang. He turns away from the utterly defeated Yeonmyeung. Thanks to you, I gained something good. Our boy is a true loot goblin. But something stops him mid-stride. He looks up to the sky, confused. It's supposed to be night, but it looks like the sun is rising. What in the world is happening? The ground trembles beneath his feet. He realizes the entire formation is shifting and changing around him. This is definitely not standard competition procedure. The world warps violently. He briefly wonders if the competition has just been deactivated. Nah, too easy. Nope, that can't be it. His eyes narrow with suspicion. He's got that Chad calculation look. He senses a massive influx of people. First 200? No, it's over 300. This is way past a family squabble. Yeonmyeung crosses his arms. For a family competition, an army this size feels way off. That just screams something is fishy. He realizes the Jago family must have deliberately let them in. Are they planning a full-on massacre? Oh my, that's dark. But then a grin spreads across his face. He readies a weapon. Well, having practice targets come to me is a lucky break. He's ready to rumble. His eyes glow with menacing green light. In the goo poison match, survival is meant for only one. It's time to get ready for some serious action. This is going to be epic. And folks, just as our boy Yeonmyeung is ready to throw down, things are heating up on the other side too. Tang Wonjin, looking like he just saw a ghost, sprints to his boss. Intruders? Yep, turns out a sneaky spy opened the gates for them. He asks for all the juicy details, numbers, leader, the whole 9 yards. The news hits hard. Over 300 troops are here, led by the infamous Dark Moon Sword Sect leader, Mak In-hoo. The guard is stunned. How did they find this place? It's hidden by the 7 Locks Phantom Dome formation. That's some serious magic. He begs his master to intervene, but the elder, Instructor Jagal, just hesitates. He admits he never saw this coming. Total plot twist even for him. Talk about bad news. The intruders already breached the inner formation where the goo poison match is happening. Jagal's crew is stuck. No way in. So all they can do is cross their fingers and hope these kids can somehow save the day. Good luck, contestants. The camera pans over the dead. Their faces are frozen in agony. Many have needles sticking out of them. Brutal. The fate of the entire Tang family now rests on the shoulders of these clueless kids. No pressure. Meanwhile, Mak In-hoo and his men arrive. They stumble upon Tang Guklin's body on the ground. In-hoo recognizes him instantly. It's his youngest son. Jung Yansong checks the body. Yep, poison needle to the neck. Ouch. No signs of a struggle at all. This dude was taken down in one quick, one-sided attack. In-hoo is seeing red. His son, taken out by poison, denied a warrior's death. This guy is not happy. He explodes, rallying his troops. Time for revenge, I guess. He orders them to search the area and find every last one of those Tang family rats. Not very subtle, is he? His warriors charge through the grasslands, certain some of their targets must be hiding. Good luck, boys. He roars a terrifying command. No one with the Tang name on Gangdong Mountain will survive. That's a father's wrath. A disciple notes his master seems unusually angry. Probably best to just agree with him, right? The master suspects the body they found was the leader's spy. The disciple recalls the only wound was a needle mark on the neck. He's shocked a single strike was fatal, even with poison. His master explains the Tang family isn't about fancy martial arts. Nope, they target life itself. He warns his student to be careful of hidden weapons. The disciple, totally oblivious, bless his heart, enthusiastically agrees. But the universe has other plans. Suddenly, our confident disciple face plants into the dirt. His master looks at him, horrified. A poison needle sticks right out of his student's neck. Double ouch. The surviving soldiers draw their swords in panic, shouting for the attacker to come out. The master shouts, telling them not to let their guard down, but there's something in the sky. They all look up and turn stone in fear, because a literal storm of poison needles is raining down on them. Oh, for crying out loud. The scenery mutates into a green haze, hundreds of venom-tipped needles hovering like insects. It's an instant, brutal slaughter. Just like that, no time for dramatic last words. The men are pincushions, riddled with needles, their bodies frozen in their final moments. Yeonmyeung stands amidst the carnage, a faint smile on his face. He looks way too calm for this, doesn't he? Yeonmyeung just smiles a little, thinking about how ridiculously lethal his single palm-blazing poison technique is. This little psycho. He figures, with enough poison, these mere foot soldiers are just glorified target practice. With a mental pull, the needles rip free from the corpses and fly straight back into his hands. Thanks to his stream technique, these poison needles barely cost him any energy. It's the perfect terrifying combo. Having cleared the area, he decides to hunt down the search teams that went east. Back at Mek In-hoo's camp, a scout returns. His report? The search teams are dead. He reports no external injuries, just the same poison needle marks as before. What a distinct calling card, eh? All wiped out by the same extreme poison, same method. Someone's clearly got a signature move. Then another scout arrives, even more terrified. The eastern group is also annihilated. Man, this is like a bad horror movie. Not a single survivor. This means this isn't just a skirmish. It's a full-blown massacre. Nearly 100 men gone in just over an hour. One of the men suggests it could be the work of a single person. Well, duh. Mak In-hoo realizes this isn't just some random fighter. A real Tang family master has infiltrated their ranks. Realizing they are the ones being hunted, In-hoo passes command to Jeong Bangju, who's about to have a very bad day. In-hoo himself is going to set a rear ambush for this ghost that's wiping out his army. Smart move, or is it? Jeong Bangju leads the remaining troops through a river. The silence is deafening, creepy AF, and you just know something's coming. He's getting a really bad feeling. With the sun setting, he knows they might be annihilated if they don't find the ambusher soon. He thinks, maybe it's time to withdraw and regroup before they get completely wiped. Good idea. So he makes the call. They're leaving in 1 hour. Phew, right? But then a chilling voice from above coolly asks, who decided that? Oh boy. It's Yeonmyeung, just chilling on a high branch, casually letting them know he wasn't planning on letting anyone leave. Rude boy. Jeong Bangju is utterly stunned. He didn't feel a thing. How did this kid get up there? Teleportation hacks? Before he can even process it, wham. Shadowy tendrils erupt like angry spaghetti. His men are instantly impaled and dead. Jeong Bangju didn't even sense Yeonmyeung move. Yeonmyeung lands silently in front of the terrified commander. Ghost moves, I tell you. Yeonmyeung just coldly asks, are you the leader? Straight to the point. Bangju's mind is blown. High alert, but he saw nothing. Yeonmyeung stands there, all menacing green aura, having pegged as the guy behind the whole massacre. Bangju, our terrified commander, is baffled. This kid doesn't feel like a master. But then, an overwhelming pressure hits him, and he's stunned into silence. He instantly recognizes the technique Void Absorption, a legendary skill that lets you manipulate objects with chi. Crazy strong. But this can't be right. Void Absorption is for enlightened masters only. This kid is way too young for those kind of stats. Writer, what is going on here? Bangju figures it must be a massive energy drain since Yeonmyeung just retrieves his daggers instead of attacking again. Phew. Bangju calls Yeonmyeung arrogant for revealing himself instead of sticking to a surprise attack. He's totally underestimating our boy. He points out he's never heard of anyone like him in the Tang family, but Yeonmyeung just shrugs it off, saying it doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because, as Yeonmyeung coldly states, a man fated to die today need not know my name. Dang, bro, that's ice cold. Enraged, the commander clenches his fist, shouting that Yeonmyeung is just a kid rushing to his own death. Oh, the irony. He powers up, muscles bulging, shirt tearing, raw energy explodes from his body. Looks like he's going Super Saiyan. With a furious look, he roars, "I shall kill you right now," and unleashes a massive fiery blast of power. Boom! The energy blast barrels towards Yeonmyeung, but he just stands there completely unfazed like it's random Tuesday. Their attacks collide in a spectacular fiery explosion. Pow! Bangju is in total shock. His maximum power technique was just deflected. Wait, what? Yeonmyeung mocks. Surely that wasn't your maximum power, was it? He even offers him time to try his best. It's flashback time. Yeonmyeong, once the spear point of the 9 factions, joined the infamous Black Death Alliance. Their leader, Yu Giljun, immediately noticed his raw skill with a staff. On his very first day, the Union leader decided to personally refine Yeonsong's technique. Talk about a warm welcome. The result? A devastating move originally called the Peak-Shaking Staff, a technique so powerful it could shatter actual mountains. Can you imagine the sheer power? But Yu Giljun, being the ultimate creative director, apparently wasn't feeling that name. He was like, "Nah, I perfected it, so I name it." And thus, the Heavenly Quake Palm was born. Classic flex, right? Alright, enough flashback. Back in the present, Yeonsong is in utter disbelief. That legendary mountain-shattering leader-given technique, Yeonmyeong just shrugged it off like it was nothing. The sheer audacity of this boy. The writer, always one for the dramatics, drops the bombshell. The power comes from the freaking fire dragon's venom. He's not just poisoned, he's controlling this lethal venom with his own unique sinister aura. Forget sword force. Our genius here has turned venom chi into pure venomous force. Seriously, who thinks of this stuff? Only this madman, apparently. Then Yeonmyeong unleashes the full might of his new power, sending a terrifying fiery beast roaring straight at Yeonsong. This ain't gonna be pretty. Yeonsong is utterly overwhelmed, staring down this immense fiery yang energy. He's probably regretting everything. Yeonmyeong's burning blaze slams directly into the Heavenly Quake Palm. Get ready for impact. And just like that, the legendary mountain-shattering technique starts to crack. It's like watching an ancient artifact crumble in real time. Pow. It collapses into dust. Gone. Reduced to atoms. Oof. Yeonsong lets out a final, agonizing scream as the flames just consume him. Brutal. His body turns to ash and stone, crumbling away to nothing. Yeonmyeong truly doesn't mess around. The venom chi imbued with heat should thus be called fiery venom force. Then he casually turns to the entire horrified army and asks, "So, who wants to be the next to burn to death?" Savage mode activated. He tells the terrified men, "Since no one's gonna survive anyway, it's better to go first." What a pep talk, right? Mak In-hoo recognizes Yeonmyeong. "It's you," he shouts, "the guardian of the formation and the one who killed my youngest. Oh, someone's about to get revenge bodied." In-hoo, fueled by rage and grief, vows to utterly annihilate Yeonmyeong. Not even ashes, folks. He's going full scorched earth. Yeonmyeong? He just gives a sinister look, his eyes glowing green. You know he's loving this attention, the absolute chaos master he is. Now these two titans face off on a battlefield littered with, well, a lot of newly unemployed soldiers. In-hoo barks orders Cheryun formation. Surround him. Classic strategy, but we all know how well that usually works against our protagonist. He warns his men to watch out for Yeonmyeong's poisons and hidden weapons. Good advice, but maybe a little too late, my friend. They're focused on depleting his strength. In-hoo takes a moment to grieve his heavy losses, especially his son. You can almost feel the pain. And to make sure all those deaths weren't for nothing, he declares Yeonmyeong must be eliminated. The stakes are high. Meanwhile, Yeonmyeong looks completely bored, like he's waiting for his coffee order. He mutters, "Cheryun formation, huh? Reminds me of training." Oh, you know he's about to go full god mode on these guys. He grins, recalling his whirling chaos dance. Perhaps I'll test something different this time, he thinks. This dude is literally experimenting in battle. And just like that, he vanishes. Poof, where'd he go? The soldiers freak out, screaming, "Where is he?" Total chaos, just as Yeonmyeong probably planned. One poor dude spots him and tries to scream a warning. Bless his heart, he tried, but too late. Whoosh! Instantaneously, bodies are flying through the air. Yeonmyeong carves a bloody path, a literal whirlwind of death, dismembering soldiers before they even knew what hit them. He's absolutely unhinged. In-hoo is completely stunned. I missed his movement? He wonders. Dude, you're not alone in that. He stares at the carnage, completely bewildered. What in the world is this guy's identity? Good question. Then, another warrior, absolutely enraged by the slaughter, charges forward, screaming. Brave, but probably not smart. Yeonmyeong just casually holds out a hand. "Let me borrow those swords," he says. "Oh, you know what's coming, don't you?" Without even touching them, he uses his internal energy to shatter the swords mid-swing. The warrior freezes, calling Yeonmyeong a monster. I mean, can you blame him? Yeonmyeong's basically a living cheat code. Turns out this technique is based on two simple principles: destructions to shatter and dispersal to scatter. Classic Yeonmyeong, always breaking things down. And then, by controlling the force with his will, he creates a deadly vortex of spinning metal shards. Absolute nightmare fuel. The surrounding soldiers are instantly caught in this lethal storm and shredded. Poof, more XP for our MC. One dude screams in disbelief, recognizing the technique 10,000 heavenly flower rain. Impossible, he shouts. Oh, so he's basically stealing legendary moves now? In an instant, the entire army is reduced to a bloody mist, like meme coins after a rug pull. Yeonmyeung admits his version isn't as grand as the original pinnacle technique. Oh, our humble protagonist destroying armies but still self-critical. But he quickly adds, it's unparalleled against lesser foes. Yeah, no kidding bro, you just wiped out an army. He decides to name his new improvised move the Iron Shard Volley. Catchy, deadly, and very on brand for our guy. Now, with all the cannon fodder gone, he turns to the last man standing. Isn't it your turn to step in? He asks. Pure sass. Enhu can only grit his teeth in fury. Impudent fool, he mutters, absolutely fuming. He powers up, his body crackling. Let's see how long that spirit lasts. He is ready for round 2. Enhu is absolutely determined to make Yeonmyeung pay, boasting about the Taye twin sword and silent sword techniques he received from the Union leader. I'll grind you to dust, the guy declares. Big talk, but can he back it up? Yeonmyeung is completely unfazed. That line for the second time he retorts. Our boy is bored with the cliches already. Enraged, Enhu charges forward, screaming, shut up, I'll crush you. Go get him. But the devastating attack stopped cold by a single tiny dagger. Seriously, is this even fair? Enhu roars, unleashing a flurry of strikes, the Taye silent sword, 10 strikes, and swirl sword dance. He's really pulling out all the stops. And Yeonmyeung, he lets out a casual yawn. A yawn in the middle of an ultimate attack, the nerve. Frustrated beyond belief, Enhu gathers all his remaining power for one final desperate strike. Gritting his teeth, Enhu unleashes his ultimate do-or-die attack, the Taye silent sword stroke. This is it. The attack slams down with earth-shattering force. Boom! You can practically feel the ground shake, but he can only stare in disbelief. How? With just a short sword, my Taye twin sword technique was, he's too shocked to even finish. But of course, everything's just basic for Yeonmyeung. Since I have some expertise in swordsmanship, I quickly grasp the flow and intention of your sword. Then, a dark, sinister energy swirls around his dagger. Anyway, he asks, mockingly, is that technique supposed to be done this way? Oh, he's about to show how it's really done. Enhu's eyes widen in pure terror. You, how can you wield the silent sword technique? This dude is just something else entirely. Enhu is still reeling. The audacity. How? How are you able to handle the silent sword technique? His mind is absolutely blown. Yeonmyeung just shrugs like it's nothing. Oh, is that what you call it? He asks. It's got murderous energy, so I just figured it was for, well, killing. Duh. Then he connects the dots. Wait a minute. The guy I killed a few hours ago was using this same technique. So, you're part of the Dark Moon Sword Sect, right? Yeonmyeung then drops a lore bomb. He knows their allegiance to the Black Death Alliance and how their martial arts just adapt to fit any user. Not very exclusive, is it? Enhu is now sweating buckets, probably wondering if he should just log off. He demands to know what Yeonmyeung is even getting at. I'm just saying I'm disappointed in a technique this trivial, Yeonmyeung deadpans. Isn't this something anyone can imitate as long as they can handle murderous energy? Ouch. He then hits Enhu with the ultimate roast. Seeing that you were given this kind of martial art, it seems your leader didn't have much faith in you, right? That finally pushes Enhu over the edge. You jerk! He's absolutely seeing red now. Yeonmyeung says, you've tried your best for someone who does nothing all day, so I'll show you a real ability in return. He raises his dagger. Don't be amazed after seeing it. Oh, you know we're about to be amazed. The old man freezes, totally confused and wary. An ability? What is he trying to do? He has no idea what's coming. A vibrant green energy erupts around Yeonmyeung. His hair whips upwards as he focuses all his power into that tiny dagger. Y'all get ready. For those who have reached a transcendental level, he explains, the length of the blade doesn't matter. And just like that, his dagger extends with pure energy. Whoa! With a single devastating swing, he unleashes a massive wave of energy called Blade River. This ain't no trickle, it's a whole river of destruction. The attack absolutely carves a gigantic trench through the battlefield, utterly dwarfing poor Enhu. This is next-level landscaping. A tiny fragment of the blast just grazes Enhu's cheek, drawing a single drop of blood. He's completely stunned. Seriously, that's all he got? Looking at the devastation, he still can't believe it. Is this the skill I have right now? Is it because my body isn't like before? There's no way. But then it hits him. The silent sword technique is absolutely powerful in front of Blade River. This kid, he's reached the final stage. What a beast. Panic sets in. I have to dodge it. And just like that, Enhu turns tail and runs for his life. Good luck with that, pal. You're annoying. Yeonmyeung sighs like he's just dealing with a mosquito. How do you think you're gonna get away when you're just running around here? He's already bored. Either way, it's over the moment I catch you. Oh, he's got that predatory glint in his eye. The other dude doesn't stand a chance. Then he reveals several golden rings. Actually, as a member of the Tang Clan, it only makes sense to kill you the Tang Clan way. He's showing off his heritage now. Enho sprints through the forest in a desperate panic. This cannot be. Who in the world raised such a monster from the Tang Clan? He's asking the real questions. He rants that even his leader wouldn't just sit back and watch this, as golden rings suddenly slice through the trees around him. Stop ranting, old man. What is that? He watches in horror as the small rings cut down trees like they're tofu. Or maybe butter? Either way, it's brutal. Realizing he can't outrun their insane speed, he grits his teeth. I'll just have to deal with them. A valiant but probably futile effort, bro. Bring it on, he roars, unleashing a flurry of slashes to deflect the deadly projectiles. He's going full anime protagonist now. He strains against the assault, absolutely refusing to die here. But he can feel his swords cracking under the immense pressure. Uh-oh, durability issues. One of the rings finally breaks through his guard, shattering his sword and slicing clean through his arm. That's one way to lose an arm wrestle. Panting and bleeding, he glares, having successfully blocked the rest of the rings at a very, very steep price. He's down one arm, but still defiant. Did you think the Dark Moon Sword Sect would fall like this? He screams, blood pouring from his stump. Dude, you're kind of falling right now. He actually thinks he has a chance, believing Yeonmyeung must be exhausted. But then he sees him casually walking closer, not even breaking a sweat. Should I be complimenting you? Yeonmyeung asks, mockingly. Enho realizes in horror that he's not even tired. This guy's basically a raid boss. With a casual flick of his fingers, the rings embedded in the ground begin to twitch and spin. Oh no, he's got mind control over his weapons too? Enho's face falls. The blades are spinning. He's completely defenseless now. GG. In his final moments, he wonders what he's been doing with his life, throwing away his past only to be unable to even scratch this kid. Deep thoughts for a dying man, I guess. Yeonmyeung casually catches the returning rings. Have I caught everyone now? Always so chill, even after a massacre. He surveys the carnage, quite pleased with himself. I did gain something out of this. Once I become heir, it'd be nice to teach this to the people under me. What a thoughtful future boss. With a slight smile, he decides it's time to go. Shall I leave this place now? Since there are loose ends, I have to tie them when I get out. Uh-oh, what's he planning now? Yeonmyeung turns his thoughts to his next targets. The elders who drove his mother into a corner and the treacherous Jaegal family. He vows to set everything right, embracing a brutal philosophy. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. He never runs out of energy, does he? Meanwhile, outside the competition grounds, Tang Wanjin stands by a massive, impenetrable rock wall. Is there really no way to get in here, he says, half asking, half begging. Instructor Jaegal offers a fake apology. He claims the seal is for fairness and he never expected things to get so dire. Yeah, right, dude. Wanjin and the others can only look on in horror. It can't be. They're completely flabbergasted. He knows he's lying, but with the entrance sealed, he's certain no one inside can possibly make it out alive. He thinks he's so clever, doesn't he? His intel confirms the Dark Moon Sword Sect invaded with over 300 soldiers. Against those odds, he's sure even number 28 doesn't stand a chance. Oh, really? He steels his resolve, deciding Yeonmyeung is too much of a threat and must be sacrificed for the future of the Tang Clan. Convenient rationalization, right, Ryder? Suddenly, the squad feels a familiar energy. Uh-oh, someone's plan is about to get nerfed. A huge section of the rock wall opens. As the dust settles, Yeonmyeung emerges completely unharmed, stunning everyone, like the true boss that he is. The rest of Group 7 shouts his name in disbelief and pure relief. He's their hero. Tang Yuri, Yeonmyeung's biggest fan, immediately leaps into his arms. Yeonmyeung catches her with a smile, asking if they were worried. Instructor Jaegal is completely floored, stammering, "Number 28? Just how in the world?" His evil plan just went up in smoke. Yeonmyeung simply looks over at him, a smug, all-knowing, cheeky smile spreading across his face. "Oh, you know that's going to haunt the old man's nightmares. This is impossible," he screams. Internally, of course. Our villain is absolutely baffled. How could 300 elite soldiers fail to take down one kid? Seriously, artists, what even is this power level? But Yeonmyeung just stares back, his eyes glowing with this cold, piercing glare. "Chill, bro." Instructor Jaegal actually flinches, hiding behind his fan like a scared little kid. Pathetic. Tang Jong-il meets his gaze, giving a small wave. Yeonmyeung returns a casual little smile. Meanwhile, Instructor Jaegal is still totally reeling, remembering how Yeonmyeung's blade just casually tore through his perfect formation. He literally cannot comprehend how our boy sliced through the legendary 7 Locks Phantom Dome formation. Guys, this thing is legendary, supposedly able to trap even a master. Like, seriously strong. And yet, Yeonmyeung just went slice right through it, like it was nothing. He stares in dawning horror as Yeonmyeung, of course, turns to look right at him. Yeonmyeong's eyes narrow. He'd totally love to finish the elder off right now, but he's got bigger fish to fry. Always thinking ahead, this guy. Wonjin steps in, telling Yeonmyeong he's safe and needs to chill until he's officially the head. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeonmyeong just smiles, reassuring Wonjin he'll handle the corrupt Tang Clan elders first. Priorities, right? Wonjin accepts that, but then asks the million-dollar question, what in the world happened in there? But he follows it up with a scarier question. What happened to the rest? Suddenly, the whole area starts to tremble. Yeonmyeong's crew is freaking out, asking if it's an earthquake. Not quite, guys. Masked warriors point to the sky, yelling a crack is appearing overhead. Bright light pours out as the whole barrier thing starts to shatter. Instructor Yahello realizes in pure horror that his beloved Seven Locks Phantom Dome is totally breaking down. Sucks to be him. As the crystalline barrier shatters, everyone gets a glimpse of what really went down inside. They see reflections of other participants, including a super messed up Tang Youngryong. Yikes. Then, the illusion fades, revealing a massive field literally covered in hundreds of dead bodies. Whoa. Yeonmyeong tells everyone casually, well, he shrugs, that's what happened in there, like it's a Tuesday. Wonjin's subordinate confirms that most of the dead are from the Dark Moon Sword sect, led by Mak In-hoo. Wonjin is absolutely speechless. He admits even he'd struggle against 30 of them, let alone the whole army. Then, one of his men points out a very specific body, lying there covered in blood. It's the sect leader, Mak In-hoo, himself. Both Wonjin and Jago completely lose it. Yeonmyeong took out their leader? This guy is wild. Yeonmyeong just shrugs, they weren't that hard, just a lot of them. Bro, you just wiped out hundreds. Wonjin can only stare, thinking Yeonmyeong is already way beyond a clan head's level. Overpowered much? The other participants are equally floored, realizing he's already surpassed the final level of mastery. On top of that, the Dark Moon Sword sect is pretty famous, mind you. His teammates just beam with pride, acting like they knew this dude could do it all along. Love to see it. But from the crowd, another contender watches, absolutely seething with rage. It's Moonshan, and he's furious. He was supposed to be the strong one, but his arm got nerfed. He glares at Yeonmyeong, who he used to see as pathetic trash. He just can't fathom how he got this strong. He silently fumes. You were just a piece of trash who got beat up. How dare you? Oh, classic rival inner monologue. Just then, an official's voice rings out. The tournament is concluding. Well, that was fast. Wonjin officially declares the sole winner is number 28, Tang Yeonmyeong. He then challenges the crowd, asking if anyone has any objections. Like anyone's gonna argue with that guy. Moonshan clenches his bandaged fist, knuckles white with strain. The rage is real. He knows the only thing he can do now is absolutely nothing. Powerless. Sad. Wonjin scans the silent crowd. Is there no one? Of course not, dude. No objections. Process concluded. Wonjin moves to make his final declaration, with the elder Jago watching grimly from the side. Poor him. I declare that the tournament is over. He booms. He orders all the warriors to immediately gather before the winner. New boss in town. Hundreds of masked Bangui Brigade warriors assemble before Yeonmyeong and his small group. That's an overwhelming sight, even for our monster boy. Wonjin announces the new master, who will revive the Tang Clan after its downfall, has finally been born. It's hype time. We appoint you as our new master, he declares. All 82 members of the Bangui Brigade, led by Wonjin, kneel in unison. Epic moment. We greet the new head. They roar, voices echoing across the valley. What a power move. The other kids are stunned, while Mirio wonders if they have to speak formally to him now. Awkward. Wonjin bows, thinking if Yeonmyeong gets even stronger, he could totally restore the Tang Clan's rep. Fingers crossed. Yeonmyeong addresses them all. I know what you want. Trust me and wait. It won't take long for that to be reality. Pure confidence. The warriors are moved, feeling the weight of his words, accepting him as their true head. Loyalty acquired. They bow once more, pledging unwavering allegiance to the tournament winner, Tang Yeonmyeong. What a day. Ceremony done, Yeonmyeong turns to his group. Get ready. We're going back to the main house. The massive army kneels, a unified force symbolizing a new future. Left behind, Moonshan watches them go, his face twisted in pure jealousy. Poor Moonshan, get ready for your redemption arc. Why? Just why? Why do you get everything? He rages. Left in the dust, Moonshan swears he'll get his revenge no matter what. Oh, he's definitely gonna go full villain now. Clenching his teeth, he seethes with rage, promising to bring Yeonmyeong down. Writers, you giving us a new antagonist here? Meanwhile, as the sun rises over the mountains, the aftermath of the recent battle is revealed. Yikes. Looks messy. An old man steps in, surveying the corpses, wondering if the killers have already left. Enter Taehae, our grandpa detective. A subordinate comes up to him. Sir, you can't just go alone like that. The guy tries to stop him, reminding him to act like a leader. Good luck with that, dude. Taehae ignores him, saying he can't hear anything. His subordinate, Hyun-so, tells him to stay on topic. Hyunso looks over the battlefield, admitting even he'd flee after seeing a mountain of corpses like this. He starts piecing things together, less than 100 Tang members here, but over 300 people killed. How? Taehae finds it strange they heard no massive battle. Hyunso realizes the Tang family must be avoiding them on purpose. Why though? Especially since the Tangs sent gifts. Taehae suspects they're totally hiding something. Duh. Taehae corrects Hyunso, revealing his surprising discovery: all this carnage was done by a short blade. Hyunso is stunned, flinching as he asks, "Are you saying these corpses are the work of one person?" Holy moly. Taehae is certain. He says he sees learned techniques, but zero mastery, just raw, sloppy power. Oof. Many died in seconds before drawing weapons. Realizing he needs to meet this person, Taehae declares, "Let us go to Sichuan." What a cliffhanger. Taehae makes his big declaration, but his poor aide, Hyunso, is already panicking. Seriously, folks, he's totally losing it at the thought of Sichuan. But not our Chad master, Taehae. He's completely unfazed, just chilling. "Have you forgotten that I've reached the absolute peak?" he asks, like it's a dumb question. Taehae tries to reassure him, "Chill, I can totally protect myself." But Hyunso, bless his soul, quickly clarifies, "Master, that's not exactly the case for me though." Realizing his master's stubbornness is like a literal brick wall, poor Hyunso just gives in. What can you do, right? Taehae, surprisingly, agrees to head back and chat with the clan head first. Phew, a small win for logic. As they journey, Hyunso gets all philosophical. He's contemplating the grim state of the world. The Black Death Alliance and the demonic cult are just causing chaos everywhere, apparently. He figures his master's grand plan is to use the totally thriving Tang family to take down the Black Death Alliance, and then, defeat the demonic cult all by themselves. Easy peasy, right? But he's seriously doubtful because, spoiler alert, the Tang family has been kinda ruined for a while now. Still, he's hopeful he won't have to bust out his super secret demon sword technique. Ooh, foreshadowing. Meanwhile, back at the Tang Clan estate, an elder is getting a crucial report. The warriors have brought the competition participants, a subordinate announces. The elder, Sam Jangro, pauses his calligraphy brush. He notes the competition finished way faster than expected. He's mega confident his granddaughter, Yeonmyeung, totally stomped everyone, especially since she had that powerful fire dragon's poison. Uh-oh, you know what happens next. But his subordinate brings some seriously grim news. "Of the people who have returned, sir, I do not see the miss," he says. Gulp. The elder's confidence just vanishes. He turns, his face filled with pure shock and disbelief. A single choked word escapes him. "What?" Outside, guards are totally gossiping about the competition winners. They mention Tang Goklin and Sam Jangro's granddaughter, who trained like a demon after her face got scarred. Their chat is cut short when they spot a massive group approaching in the distance. It's the survivors of the goo poison match. Led by a super solemn Yeonmyeung and his crew, our boy is back. Recognizing the Tang family symbol, the guards like, "Oh, the contestants are back." A huge crowd instantly gathers, buzzing with excitement and a million questions. Like, who's the winner? But among the returning warriors, one figure totally stands out. Who is that man? Someone whispers. It's a face I've never ever seen before. And naturally, the women in the crowd are blushing like crazy at the sight of the transformed Yeonmyeung. "Go, Casanova, go." But not everyone's cheering. An old man frantically searches the crowd, crying out, "Soy, my daughter, Soy. Oh man, this part's rough." You can only imagine the pure relief when they spot their loved one. Young Master Jung-il is also safe among the survivors. Jung-il's subordinates see his calm expression and feel a glimmer of hope. The courtyard is a chaotic mix of joy and absolute sorrow. Reunions happening right next to the crushing realization of loss. Yeonmyeung watches his parents weep for their children, the ones who didn't make it back. The sight makes him think of his own mom. She must be worried sick about him, right? He wonders if she'll even recognize him after his total glow-up. A small smile plays on his lips. He's actually pretty curious to see her shocked face. Suddenly, Tang Yuri calls out, pointing, "Yeonmyeung, over there. The General Administration Department is here." She points out a man with those distinctive swirly glasses. "He's my father," she says. The man sighs in relief. "My Yuri is safe." Yeonmyeung gives her a sly look. Do you want me to take good care of your dad?" He's totally flirting. Yuri grins back. She admits her dad is skilled but never got promoted. Why? Because he totally refuses to suck up to anyone. That's why he's been running errands until now, Yuri admits. He needs to gather allies and honest people not tied to the elders. He makes a mental note to learn more about his other teammates, Ijeon and Mirio, and their connections. Gotta build that party. A booming voice cuts right through his thoughts. A man with a wild grin introduces himself as Tang Kisum, the actual head of the Tang family. Instructor Jagal cheerfully greets him, who bows respectfully. Kisum thanks the instructor for the Jagal family's help with the Seven Locks Phantom Dome formation. Sounds fancy, Kisum pats him on the shoulder, adding casually though it totally broke. Jegel flinches, sweating nervously. Oopsie. Kisum then announces they're heading to the elder's house. He dismisses the warriors to get some rest. But just as they're about to leave, Tang Wenjin steps forward. My apologies, but here we go. We will not be going to the elder's house. He introduces himself as the temporary leader of the honor guards. Kisum's face instantly darkens. Did I hear you right? You don't want to go to the elder's house? Trouble's brewing. Wenjin argues that the competition rules state they should report to the Stealth and Poisons Hall, not the elders. Stickler for the rules, this guy. Kisum is left absolutely speechless. A look of subtle rage builds on his face. How dare a mere warrior talk about principles, he explodes. He threatens to punish Wenjin for protesting. Typical family head tantrum. The onlookers gasp, absolutely terrified by the family head's fury. Yikes. Wenjin holds his ground, braced for a massive pushback from the clan's leadership. He's got guts. But then, a calm voice cuts through the insane tension. Yeonmyeung steps forward. Protesting, you say? He asks coolly. Is there anyone in the main house who has more power than the family head? Oh, he's good. Kisum, totally bewildered, demands to know who this upstart even is. He has no idea. Yeonmyeung makes his identity known. The competition winner, Tang Yeonmyeung. Holy aura. Inside the elder's house, the report is being delivered. The elders literally cannot believe their ears. Kisum nervously confirms it again. As I've said, the winner of the competition is Tang Yeonmyeung. Elder Sam Jangro slams his fist down in pure fury. Impossible. How could one like that beat Young? Total meltdown. He questions if she even got a chance to use her deadly fire dragon's poison. Probably not, Grandpa. The leader of Sichuan, Tang Sukshung, is equally stunned. His own prized disciple, Gukrin, also lost to this nobody. Ouch. He recalls acknowledging Gukrin's immense talent and hard work. Never once imagined he could lose. Thinking back to the competition's start, he was certain Yeonmyeung was no match for Gukrin. Boy, were you wrong. To them, this kind of improvement in 3 years is impossible. I'm certain he used some trick. Sore losers? Much? Finally, second elder Tang Myeongshin stands up. He declares they must get to the bottom of this, no matter any past agreements. The big guns are out. The elders are absolutely furious. Fourth elder Tang Zhiyong can't believe it. He's shouting, how could someone like him beat every potential candidate and win? The grand elder Tang Sub-jung cuts through all the noise. He demands to know where Yeonmyeung is. He wants to question him directly. But Yeonmyeung isn't coming, is he? Only the family head can order the heir. Just because the position of head is vacant, it doesn't mean the elders can order in their place. Now Yeonmyeung bravely asks, do you still insist on punishing us as protesters? But look, Yeonmyeung hasn't even been officially acknowledged yet. Kisum realizes his position will be in danger if someone who has a grudge against the elders becomes heir. Yeonmyeung finally snaps. Enough, he says. Then bam, a wave of green energy explodes from him. The sheer force of his aura blasts outwards. It pins the man in place with overwhelming pressure. Whoa! Kisum is utterly terrified, realizing with dawning horror push this any further, and he's a dead man. Seriously, run. With the man properly intimidated, Yeonmyeung turns away. He calmly states they'll be heading to the Stealth and Poisons Hall as per the rules. Take that, elders! He leaves the man with one last chilling message for the elders, let them know. With the competition ending, their reign is also totally over. Power play activated. Did this kid Yeonmyeung seriously just summon the elders like they're his personal delivery service? Still glowing with that sick green energy, Yeonmyeung drops the mic. Your era is over. Kisum is shaking like a leaf. No way he's delivering this declaration of war to the family's most powerful dudes. Seriously, who could? Meanwhile, in the council chamber, Sam Jangro literally explodes. Bam! Table shattered with one punch. Talk about a rage quit, am I right? But wait, Tang Sokjung spots an opening. Yeonmyeong's not officially leader yet, so they can totally disqualify him for this insolence. The elders are all like, yep, let's do it. They're gonna assess his capabilities at the Stealth and Poisons Hall themselves. Aha, sure they are. Grand Elder yells the order and his personal army, all geared up, assembles for a full-on power flex. He even brings in the big guns. The master of the Blue Dragon, bring your forces and follow, he commands. Dude's not messing around. So, armies in tow, the elders march out. They're totally ready to put this upstart Yeonmyeung in his place. Time to show him who really runs the Tang family, right? Meanwhile, back in a quiet room, Tang Jokwi is absolutely stunned. Did you really win the successor competition? He asks Yeonmyeung, disbelief etched on his face. Yeonmyeung just gives him that signature smug smile. Yep, you heard right, he confirms. Jokwi notices Yeonmyeong's aura is now on a whole new level. He was always special, but now he's just something else. Jokwi thinks his sister would be so proud. Suddenly, some dude bursts in, shouting in utter disbelief. It's Tang Ji-yok, the Poison King, and totally unlucky dad. aka Moonchan's father. Flashback time. Before the competition, Ji-hyuk was busy mocking Yeonmyeung, saying he'd be lucky just to survive. What an absolute hater. He even swore that after the competition, he'd make Yeonmyeung and his mom pay for his son's arm. Yikes. Big threats back then. Back in the present, Yeonmyeong's eyes narrow. "Oh, you definitely said that," he recalls, his voice dangerously low. "Goosebumps? Anyone? Didn't take 4 years, did it?" Yeonmyeong snarls. "And now you won't be getting that compensation." Then he leans in close, delivering a chilling warning. "Be careful or you might just end up disabling your son's other arm." Whoa there. Ji-hyuk instantly breaks out in a cold sweat, paralyzed by absolute terror. Ji-hyuk is watching from the side. Yeah, he knows Ji-hyuk totally had that coming. Meanwhile, outside the Stealth and Poisons Hall, Tang Wonjin is on duty, looking for Yeonmyeong. Intrigued yet? And look what we've got. He's the son of the legendary Poison Phoenix, right? The guard, a member of the Bongwi Brigade, instantly flashes back. He remembers the one and only Poison Phoenix. Get ready for some lore. He remembers the brutal, bloody war against the Heaven's Brilliance Demon Lord. Tang family warriors fought and died in that insane conflict. The resistance was way stronger than expected, and then the Demon Lord himself appears on the battlefield, chillingly holding a severed Tang warrior's head. Scary. Annoyed by their fierce fighting, the Demon Lord finally unleashes his main forces. They were totally out-nerfed. The Bongwi Brigade leader begged the elders for support, warning them the family's survival was on the line. But did they listen? Nope. The elders sent like a fraction of their forces. And then, they shamelessly blamed everything on the Poison Phoenix. She was forced to step down as head elder, all to protect her young son. What a heartbreaking sacrifice. Now, seeing her son Yeonmyeong finally rise to power, the Bongwi Brigade feels like they've got a second chance to serve. Redemption arc alert. Just as the guard is deep in thought, a powerful voice suddenly yells, "Stop." The shout echoes from outside, and Yeonmyeong ever so casually suggests they go check out the commotion. "Let's see what all the fuss is about," he says. Outside the hall, Sam Jangro and his entire personal army have arrived. "Honor guards, do you really think you can defy the Elder Council and be safe?" The guard is utterly shocked. Just like Yeonmyeong predicted, the elders all showed up, armies and all. "Are they seriously that threatened by our boy? LOL. Sam Jangro bellows for Yeonmyeong to be dragged before him, but a calm voice cuts through the noise. "No need to fuss, I am here." What an entrance. Yeonmyeong calmly strolls out, facing down the entire Elder Council like it's a random Tuesday. His allies are totally stunned by his audacity. Sam Jangro sneers. "How dare you claim the leader's seat without our permission?" Oh, he's so mad. Yeonmyeong just deadpans. "I already proved my qualifications by winning. Results are being verified right now." "What more do you need?" he asks. That simple question leaves Sam Jangro absolutely speechless with pure rage. Another elder completely loses it, screaming at Yeonmyeong for his disrespectful language. Clearly they're not used to being challenged, huh? Yeonmyeong faces down the elders as Wonjin stands beside him, sweating. Sam Jangro bellows, "If you want to live, you will confess everything that happened inside the Solitude exam." "Big demands, old man." Yeonmyeong just scoffs. "I always heard what happens in the competition stays in the competition," he retorts. "Guess family rules are pretty worthless now, huh?" Sam Jangro absolutely loses his mind. He screams that he heard from Instructor Jaggle about the Dark Moon Sword Sect and their 300 villains interfering. He demands to know how anyone can call that competition fair. This shocking revelation leaves all the onlookers completely speechless. Yeonmyeong's voice cuts through the uproar. "Tang Gukrin and Tang Yongryong killed other participants, so I ended the competition by killing them." He calmly adds that the Dark Moon sect showed up after the competition was already over, so fairness isn't even an issue. Checkmate. Sam Jangro's face contorts in anger. His mind totally short-circuits. He stammers, "Who killed whom?" Yeonmyeong casually suggests, "If you find it hard to believe, go to Gangdong Mountain yourself. The bodies are probably still there." That's it. That's the last straw. Sam Jangro, consumed by blind rage, screams, "Die." Oh, he went there. He unleashes a massive ground-shattering blast of blue energy straight at Yeonmyeong. This dude just went all out. The attack rips through the courtyard. Stone ground explodes, tearing everything to pieces in a blinding flash. The bystanders look scared out of their wits, staring at the sheer power of that attack. This is insane. Dude, the Elder's own men are caught in the blast, thrown like ragdolls. Talk about friendly fire. Seriously, Grand Elder, what were you thinking? Yeonmyeong drops a bombshell. "You brought all this upon yourself." He roars. When the smoke clears, the courtyard is a massive crater, and there stands Yeonmyeong completely untouched, blocking the Elder's hand. A sinister green aura flares around him as he asks, "Do you find that hard to believe, that your granddaughter is dead? Yeonmyeong, you are truly out of your mind." His ultimate move, the demon-killing poison that robs victims of sight and hearing, just got blocked by Yeonmyeong's bare hand. He just cannot wrap his head around it. Could this absolute menace have already surpassed the decades of internal strength he's been grinding? Impossible, he screams. You dare to mock me. And naturally, he unleashes another blast of pure energy, because you know that worked so well the first time. But our boy, Yeonmyeung, unfazed, he just casually reaches into his robe and pulls out a small, ornate red bottle. Ooh, spicy. The elder's eyes go wide in terror. Where did you get that? He knows what it is. Yeonmyeung asks if he recognizes it. It must be baffling, he says. That poison bottle you gave your granddaughter? Yeah, that came from my hand. Grand Elder, it's your own poison. The vial shatters on the ground and its contents erupt in a massive pillar of fire engulfing the utterly terrified elder. The crowd stares in shock as the flames die down. Yeonmyeung reveals this isn't just any poison. Nope, it's one of the Tang family's legendary top 10 poisons. The soldiers gasp, finally recognizing it. Fire Dragon's poison, they shout. Sounds like something you'd get as a rare drop in a high-level raid, right? That specific poison's storage, it's managed by the third elder. Can these legendary poisons be used for personal greed? But apparently, absolutely not. Wonjin explains they're dangerous enough to challenge the strongest warriors and more valuable than any treasure in the whole Tang family vault. Using them for personal gain warrants severe punishment. The elder, still singed, yells for his men to seize Yeonmyeung. Too late, buddy. Yeonmyeung just gives a chilling grin. Yeonmyeung tells the elder his fancy title won't save him from the clan's rules. You will die honorably, he says. At least in the afterlife, your granddaughter awaits you. With a final explosive fiery blast, Yeonmyeung incinerates Sam Jangro, leaving absolutely nothing behind, just dust and a horrified crowd. Dude went full dragon mode. He turns to the remaining corrupt elders. What do you have against the family head? He challenges. I will decide where I stand. Alpha move. Wonjin can't believe what he's seeing. To stand so boldly before the elders, he feels the fate of the Tang family is changing right at this very moment. And honestly, he's probably right. Tang Sokjung roars in fury, ordering his men to restrain Yeonmyeung for daring to kill a senior of the clan. This guy just does not give up, does he? Yeonmyeung calmly turns to Sokjung. Did you know that your disciple endangered the Tang family, he asks? That he was a spy for the Dark Moon Sword Sect? Another bomb drop. Sokjung accuses him of framing the man and demands evidence. Yeonmyeung just says he'll provide it. It's about to go down. He turns to the crowd and calls out to someone specific. Aren't you the son of the vice director? He asks Jung-il. Cue dramatic reveal. He rips his shirt off, revealing a chest covered in scars. I am the sole witness who can prove he is a spy, he declares. Jung-il explains he fought Tang Gukrin and those nasty wounds were from a double sword technique, not some sneaky poison or stealth attack. Hard evidence? The elder tries to dismiss it as speculation, but then the claim was backed up. Mak In-hoo was seen use a similar double sword technique. Oh snap. The evidence mounts as it's stated that the wounds on their fallen clansmen matched Jung-il's. Then Jung-il adds the final nail. Before he tried to kill me, he confessed he was a spy and called himself Mak In-guk. Got him. That name rings a bell. The elders realize Mak In-guk was a discarded guy from the Dark Moon Sword Sect, so the rumors were true all along. Bet they feel silly now. Yeonmyeung gives Jung-il a nod of thanks. Jung-il says he's just repaying a debt. Teamwork makes the dream work. Am I right? Sukjung starts to panic. If his disciple was a spy, he'll be implicated too. He desperately shouts for another elder named Junryung to stop Yeonmyeung. Oh, the karma is delicious. But no one moves. Yeonmyeung walks forward calmly as the other clan members yell at their hesitant leaders to do something. It's like watching a train wreck. Sokjung sputters that his situation is different, but Yeonmyeung presses him. Will he continue to claim ignorance even if it lets the entire clan fall into enemy hands? Point, Yeonmyeung. How careless. In a flash, Yeonmyeung is on him, driving a poison needle deep into his shoulder. That's what you get, old man. Sokjung is instantly paralyzed. Yeonmyeung appears with a blade of sinister energy, warning him he can't just escape the accusation of harboring a spy. But Yeonmyeung says since there's no proof of the elder's collusion, his punishment ends here. The elder thanks him, internally marveling at Yeonmyeong's incredible speed and swordsmanship. But then Sokjung did something Yeonmyeong probably didn't notice. He didn't just stop the bleeding, he extracted the poison that was just injected. Folklore dropped the Tang family's deadliest weapon as the formless poison. It's colorless, odorless, and undetectable. By the time symptoms appear, it's already too late for the victim. Sokjung boasts that while his version isn't the complete formless poison, he spent his entire life grinding and perfecting it. What a flex. He's convinced that no matter how skilled Yeonmyeong is, there's absolutely no surviving its potency. Yeonmyeong, however, just stares back, looking completely unimpressed. This absolutely infuriates the old man, who internally screams, I'll kill you without you even knowing what hit you. Yeah, we've heard that one before. Alright, so much for not knowing what hit you. Yeonmyeong's icy gaze sweeps the battlefield. Whoops. Seokjung, clutching his chest, stammers in disbelief. You really do all sorts of things, he gasps. Understatement of the year, old man. Could it be... He barely whispers. Oh, he's realizing his formless poison was, pretty formless, all right. And oops, Yeonmyeung slashes his other hand. Bro's handless now. Another elder completely loses it, screaming, "What is this madness? Didn't you promise us mercy? Buddy, did you really think that would happen?" He accuses Yeonmyeung of trying to usurp power, but our boy just stares him down, completely unfazed. Like, duh, what did you expect? Suddenly, other clan members notice something on the ground. Wait a moment, they gasp. What in the world is that? It's Seokjung's severed hand. And get this, lying next to it is his spilled poison bottle. Yeonmyeung calls him out on his pathetic scheme. Feigning stopping blood flow to launch a poison attack, he declares utterly disgraceful. Seokjung, absolutely desperate, pleads with the family head for help. Too little, too late, bro. Yeonmyeung names him Grand Elder Tang Seokjung. His hand is already glowing with malevolent green energy. You know what that means? He declares, by attempting to assassinate the family head and disrupt the clan, you as a traitor will be punished severely. In a flash, a massive spectral beast of poison energy materializes. It decapitates the Grand Elder. Yep, that's one way to end an argument. Yeonmyeung now stands alone in the courtyard. The elder's body parts lie on the ground. RMC's authority? Absolutely undeniable. Who's the boss now? He turns to the remaining elders, his voice icy. You all are not above the laws of the Tang family, he warns. Bet they're sweating bullets right now. If any of you disregard the family's laws again using your position, I will personally execute justice, he declares. That's code for you're next, folks. He addresses the entire clan. The Tang family has declined, he states, and it could collapse at any moment. But I promise this, he continues. I will ensure our members are not exposed to threats from evil sects or demonic cults, and that they can live in peace. Then Yeonmyeung demands their fealty. Do you acknowledge me as the rightful family head of the Tang family? It's not really a question, is it? Meanwhile, back at Tang Jie's residence, she's in total disbelief. What are you saying? She asks. Calm down and speak slowly. The old woman wipes away tears of joy. Jie couldn't believe it. Did he really win the family head contest? The woman exclaims, he judged the elders and they acknowledged him. I can't forget that scene. She describes how everyone at the Stealth and Poisons Hall knelt before him. They acknowledged him as the new leader. Jie looks on, her heart swelling with pride. Our Yeonmyeung truly has grown up splendidly, she thinks. From zero to hero, eh? She reminisces, wishing Yeonmyeong's father, Long Riang, could have lived to see this day. Meanwhile, Yeonmyeong reflects. He wanted to rush to his mother, but as the new family head, he had mountains of tasks to handle. Adulting is hard. In a meeting, Tang Jakui announces the new order. All major issues will now be handled by the Stealth and Poisons Hall with Yeonmyeong's final approval. The elders' authority? Transferred. They were clearly displeased, but none dared to object. Smart move, guys. Elder O tries a sneaky power play. He suggests he act as regent for the inexperienced Yeonmyeong. Nice try, Elder, but we all know what you're up to. Yeonmyeong sees right through it, obviously. He's thinking they're just using his age as an excuse to cling to power. This kid isn't dumb, you know? But surprise, surprise, he obliges. Elder O is shocked. It's that easy? Well, yeah, but the decision on who's going to be the regent will be done later on. As part of the cleanup, the investigation proved the third elder was smuggling the legendary fire dragon's poison. Sneaky. This cast serious doubt on the elder's competence. So management of the clan's 10 poisons was reassigned to the Stealth and Poisons Hall. Checkmate. Stripped of most of their power, the elders were left with only their personal military forces. Not much, but they're still trying to cling on. Yeonmyeong then hits them where it really hurts their wallets. From now on, the elders have to pay for their own troops. Ouch. Budget cuts. He orders any existing budget for them cut immediately. Cue the elders fuming. You love to see it. Furthermore, the troops of the dead elders, now leaderless, they're absorbed into the Shadow Troop under Yeonmyeong's direct command. Bigger army, more loot. Some of the elders' men grumbled about their new assignments and reduced pay. Of course they did. Yeonmyeong shuts them down fast. If you don't want to be dismissed, you better fulfill your duties. No room for complainers here. He warns that neglecting duties or causing friction means severe punishment. The grumbling warrior. He quickly falls in line. A few days later, Yeonmyeong summons the head of the Jegal family. The Jegal elder is sweating bullets, realizing Yeonmyeong completely toppled the elder council. There's no point in reporting anything now. His old game plan is totally nerfed. He knows he has to be careful. One wrong word could mean his literal end. This isn't a game, pal. Well, actually it is. But still. Yeonmyeong begins, I've been busy and have neglected you all somewhat. Then, the classic line, also, there's something I'd like to ask of you. The Jegal elder is stunned by Yeonmyeong's transformation and commanding presence. He can't believe this is the same kid. Participant number 28. Yeonmyeong jokes, why so surprised? Is it my clothes? My subordinates insisted I dress for the position. The elder realizes Yeonmyeung is already declaring himself the true owner of the Tang family even before his official inauguration. No time for formalities when you're this powerful. Yeonmyeung then tells the elder Jaegal, I've heard the defensive formations of the Jaegal family are legendary. This is where the plot thickens. He dryly notes that his own experience with their formations was a little different, as in he effortlessly shattered them, but he still wants one installed for optics, I guess. I'd like to have that formation installed here, he requests, to keep the riffraff of evil sects at bay. Sounds reasonable, right? The Jaegal elder stammers, trying to refuse. I'm sorry, he splutters, but our formations can't be installed without our head's permission. He explains it requires precious family treasures and multiple formation masters. He implies the Tang family lacks the capacity. Oh, you really shouldn't have said that, dude. Suddenly, whoosh! Yeonmyeung's eyes glow green as he unleashes a wave of poison chi. It shatters the room's decor. He's not messing around. The force of the energy blast sends the Jaegal elder stumbling. Clearly, capacity is not an issue. Before he can even ask what's happening, a poison needle positions itself in front of his face. Gulp. Yeonmyeung's eye glows as he reveals the truth. I already know about your deal with Tang Yongryong, he states. Busted. He accuses the elder directly. Despite being able to stop the Dark Moon Sword sect's invasion, you chose not to block it. Yeonmyeung declares, Uh-oh, that's treason. Did you think I would just overlook it? He asks. The Jaegal elder's face? That's the nope expression, sweating everywhere. With green energy swirling, Yeonmyeung speaks. Install a defense similar to your main quarters, he warns. Let this suffice for now. The Jaegal elder looks displeased, but Yeonmyeung's voice is menacing. Does this still sound like a mere suggestion? Clearly not, pal. You should have heard of our family rules, he states. Oh, here we go. His eyes glow with terrifying light. And our clan's rule is to return a grudge tenfold, he says. That's why the elders met their death by my hand. Yeah, we saw that. I will count to 3. If I don't hear a positive response by then, I will personally go to the Jaegal family and hold them accountable for this incident. He shows the elder a vision of his family's home burning to the ground. I'll leave it to your imagination what comes next. Yikes. Yeonmyeung barely gets out 1-2 before the Jaegal elder breaks down, screaming his agreement. I will do it, he wails. Pressure much? With hands shaking uncontrollably, he desperately pleads for Yeonmyeung to spare his family. Poor guy. A satisfied smile plays on Yeonmyeung's lips. Good, he says, telling the man he'd better hurry it up. Another win chalked up for the unfiltered Psycho King. That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.